Dogs, what the hell?
Sorry, dogs. Scared my dogs by saying hello to you. All right. So we're going to get you guys plugged in. You didn't know this, but you're a little low on energy. Thought I'd help you out by telling you. And I'm going to turn on the TVerator. Like the cover picture. I don't know. We're getting set up, gang. There's no way to have this set up for the live video before I start the live video. I'm sure that there is. Maybe there's technology out there. I know that there's stuff to do live videos with multiple cameras and cut between cameras. Yeah. I'm not there, man. You're lucky I can check email.
You check email?
My wife normally checks email.
Really?
That's true.
Saying hello to Spastic Pug, Marlene McKetchin, Scott Fullhart, Joshua Howard, Christopher Lisette, I hope I said that right, Hugo from Brazil, and Stacy Hawkins.
Hi, everybody.
Scott McDowell, hello. Scott and Agatha.
Hi. All right. So what I need to do is I go pop out chat. Let's turn this on. Full size. Okay. Bam. Perfect. And now, I'm almost ready. I got some mad scientist hair happening right now. Blame quarantine.
Phil Larry Hughes, Frank Coy, Chance Speck. How much is a kid's costume, youth?
I don't do kids costumes really. What kind of costume? I'm down to make one if it's we could do that. Just
That's a first.
talk to my wife. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of children. Let's be honest.
Oh my God.
I scare them. They're fun to scare.
That's not true.
Anyway, so I fixed the shark teeth. I thought you guys would want to see that. And I'm going to show you this, and then we're going to have 20 people say, hey, did you fix them shark teeth? So this is the shark. The same mask as yesterday. Another one's in the mold, but I haven't poured it up yet. Okay. All right.
They like a shark.
So, yeah.
Hey guys, shark. That time you did fix those teeth very well.
I did. I just poured up those other teeth from the other day. And remember the Inbred sock masks that I started yesterday? All I did was I based them out in flesh. Flesh. Flesh for fantasy. Flesh. Flesh. All right. I am going to organize this so that I can get all of these guys painted at one time. Well, not like all at once, but in order.
How late will you be on tonight?
8, probably 10:30. Now, if I were a good YouTube person, I would have prepped this area and done all of this before you got here. But there's something fundamentally wrong with me where I don't clean up unless people are watching. It's not entirely true. Okay.
We should show this puppies.
This is what happens in the shop. This is, well, like, normally you guys see them sleeping, but they do this crap all day. I was worried we were going to have some head humping action here. Luckily, that didn't happen. They're just asserting dominance. And here's Bella. Now they're going to come kick her butt. Or sniff it. Doggos, what do you do? All right. You may or may not have come here for doggos.
Hugo says, Boris! Haha.
Yeah, that's Boris, your boy.
He's a Boris fan. This workshop is paradise.
It doesn't suck. I'm going to be honest with you. Remember this? This was the Weldwood contact cement that we used to make this face better, different. Little, yellow, different, different. I was made for you.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah, they're not nice to each other. They will like grab each other by the ear and then try to run away. Big old jerks.
Your siblings.
And
Weren't you mean to your siblings?
No, I was not.
She mean to you?
You know what? I was never. My wife asked me if I was ever mean to my sibling. I have a sister who is 18 months older than me, but she's tiny. She's I almost 5'1". Like she'll say 5'3". And I bet she weighs 110 pounds, maybe. Tiny human being. There was one time when we were like 13 and 14 where she was punching me in the arm a lot and punching me in the neck and head. And I picked her up and I threw her onto a bed because I've never punched my sister. Never. But it's like a lot of people do, and they're like, oh, it's no big deal, that's my sister. I had this weird chivalry sense when I was a kid. Like, I'm over that now, I'll just slap them, you know? But when I was a kid, it was different.
Active doggies tonight, says Tara and Huey.
Yes, I hope they calm down soon. My shop can't take it. This is for strapping masks, so I will put it right here. We're probably going to strap the shark later, and I might even get to paint the shark tonight. Let's see how time goes.
Make a shark.
All these tools should be put away, but I'm putting them into a pile. Because that feels like success. No, it's a pile that I'll sort through later. My wife is giving me a look.
Good morning, Richard McGrath from England.
Good morning, Richard.
Please, that's right. Live in the UK. Gonna get to that UK one day.
Yes.
Yes.
There's actually a lot of haunted attractions in the UK, and I want to organize a little tour so that we can go and see those, of course, and have fun and visit and all that stuff. All right.
Just lay on her. Just lay.
Yeah, Cheney, he weighs the most, and one of the ways that he will win a fight is by laying on someone else. And just stay there. Don't just lay on them until they're done.
Where did you learn that behavior?
No idea. Well, what's over here? Oh, a stool. Guys, I have had a fairly productive day. I wired a new light on the porch out behind the shop. Eventually, I should do like a whiteboard sketch to show you kind of how the shop is laid out. But not today. Mostly empty.
Michael Lester wants to know who the alpha is.
Me. I'm the alpha. Between them, it's really even. Bella's like the trixiest. Cheney is the most cautious, but also he's a tank of a dog. And Boris, there's not an alpha between them really. They're pretty even in different ways. All right. All the tools that I had piled up on the far side of the table, because I split the table, are now on the near side of the table. And perhaps I have planned accordingly. But let's get to painting. I don't think inbreds are this tan, so we're gonna put down some flesh with a white. And we will dry brush these guys because they all have that base flesh tone. And we're going to dry brush them so that all of them, you know, we'll bring them up a little bit. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 7:59 p.m.
I want to go a little lighter than that. So it's pretty much 8 o'clock.
Linda Howell, you're very welcome. Glad you got your order today.
Hooray!
Linda got an apron. With all the economic impact around the world, are there any items you are worried about running out of? Hard to find, prices increasing? What an interesting question.
Latex, I think is going to get a little bit scarce for a while, but we're a ways off from that. So
Why?
it's a commodity, and it's priced per barrel, just like oil. And the countries that we get it from, we may not be the friendliest with right now. That's all. And just supply chains in general are kind of broken. Like a lot of things coming in from China, this ain't getting here fast.
How much does a stilt costume run? Chance spec, it runs $1,200, and that includes the stilts.
And there are some that are as low as 800. It all depends on the costume. But the average for us is about 1,200. That is correct.
And that includes stilts.
Yeah, and that includes stilts. So this flesh color that's on here is the darkest flesh color. And then I dry brush lighter and lighter on top of that.
Well, thank you. I love the run that you brought to MHC, the one. Which one did at MHC are you talking about, Chance spec?
Well, at MHC, I think the easiest ones to see, we had the Ghost Pirate, we had the Apocalypse,
No. I don't think we had that at MHC.
we had
It's a
Ghost
soul.
Pirate, we had Female Ghost, we had the Reaper.
We had the Reaper, the black one,
Yeah.
because they got up and danced. The green one, the green pirate.
Yeah, Green Pirate is a lot of fun.
Very nice.
Everybody liked it, no one bought one. It was very interesting that way.
Are there any items you're bulking up on to avoid back order for the future?
No, because I would have to pay for them. No, not right now.
Happen in Mojo, there's a glut of latex here.
Glut meaning there's a lot of latex there.
Yeah, Taiwan?
Thailand.
Thailand.
Yeah.
Yes, Thailand. My apologies. You know what I love about your live shows is the motivation it gives me. I was super tired from work today. I just wanted to rest, but when you came on, I decided to pour a mask.
Cool.
Scott
Good.
McDonald. That's awesome.
Good. Get to work.
And you do a rusty looking one. Chance Spec. You're talking about the Apocalypse?
Yeah, the Apocalypse
Warrior?
costume. All right, can you guys see the difference between these two? And if I hold this guy up close, you should see there's actually several values of flesh in there already.
Hello, Scott Creighton. Hi, Rodney Pope. These are your boys.
Yeah, and girl. 3 boys and a girl.
The Apocalypse costume, how much does that run?
$1,200. That's a very fun costume to make. And you can do so many different versions of it. Like you can pick the Apocalypse mask that goes with it. Yeah.
And it has the big,
It doesn't have to look the same every
the
time.
long duster coat, the big
Yeah, it's got a big duster coat, big like gauntlet-y gloves.
boots.
Yeah, there's awesome boots that go with it. We actually have an Apocalypse version right now that's about 90% done. That is a medical Apocalypse, which is for our medical Apocalypse line. If you want to know what those look like, you can go to stiltbeaststudios.com, Apocalypse Medical. Right now, we're not being real careful. We're just getting color on here.
Do you use CO2? Because there may be a shortage of that, as it's usually a byproduct of ethanol, and ethanol product is down.
No, I do not use any CO2 for anything.
Chance
That may affect haunted houses in October who do paintball.
I saw Lake Hickory Haunts bought one, I think.
They did. Lake Hickory did. Ryan at Lake Hickory bought one.
One of the Apocalypse masks.
He bought the Apocalypse stilt costume. He bought the one at the show.
Hi, Danielle Wilson.
Hello.
Say hello to Realms. What will be your nightmare?
Hello, Realms. What will be your nightmare? That's a lot to say. What will be your nightmare?
And where can I find that? Sorry, I did not hear what you said. The
Stiltbeaststudios@gmail.com.
It's not on the website. That's still costumes.
Stilt costumes are not on the website actually yet, but we can send us an email to the website. We'll send you some pictures and get you info.
Wow, I live near Lake Hickory. It's Stacy Birch. Thank you, Scott. Yeah, Chance Spec, if you'll send us an email, we can get you going. We are trying to layer our debuts as far as what it is we're going to show, so that we don't do it all at one time. And but we can always send you information to help you out.
Information.
I really wanted the Gravedigger mask. Then I saw the Werewolf 2020. What is next? Scott Creighton.
That's why we're layering. You know,
Yeah.
we're kind of hoping that we'll get a few more sales by. Not, if we release everything at once, everybody will pick their favorite and then buy. But if we have a wave one, and then the people who can will pick one and buy, and then maybe they'll buy something else at wave two. Without being able to do the show, when we do the show like Trans World, it's, you know, a third of our income for the year in one whack. And we're just trying to space it out.
Today's quarantine film was Phantom of the Paradise, and it was wild. It's fast.
Cool. My quarantine film was The Capture of Bigfoot from 1979, I think. White Bigfoots. Very interesting.
And how was it?
It's pretty terrible. I also watched Man Eater with Gary Busey as a police detective.
Will you be at MHC? If you will, we will come see you guys.
Come see us. MHC in Chicago. We'll be there.
If MHC happens, we're going to be there. I think it's going to happen. Plastic Ninja, hello. I got my package today. It says Plastic Ninja.
Did?
Is there something special in there?
Yeah, there are pictures of the Wolfman kicking King Ghidorah's butt on the outside of the box. And one of them, he's popping out of it like a chest burster.
Say hello to Hyper Swirls.
Hello, Hyper Squirrels.
Swirls.
Hyper Swirls?
Not
I think Hyper Squirrels is scarier. But hello, Hyper Swirls.
Because I did have many special surprises.
Oh,
I uploaded an unboxing.
you did?
Oh,
That's funny.
where do you see, where can we see that, Plastic Ninja? We had some fun putting your package together. Hello from Maine, Tutworks Studios.
Hello.
Oh, Plastic Ninja says on this channel.
Okay, on the Plastic Ninja channel. Perfect.
I'm gonna have to see that. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, most of my time now, I'm working in the shop, I'm doing YouTube live videos, and then I'm recovering from working in the shop and doing YouTube live videos. I'm not watching a lot of YouTube myself right now. But I'm definitely following my rule of producing more than I consume.
Well, we're gonna have to see that unboxing.
We will, of course, of course.
That's gonna be funny.
Okay. Yeah, see, look at the difference between this guy and these guys. We really paled them up. We've given them a lot of different values. And I actually paled up these two more than this one. So I think I'm going to pull this one forward and hit it again before I even jump on the last one.
Plastic Ninja says, I really appreciate the extra stuff. It's fantastic.
Well, you know what? Everybody here, through this whole quarantine process, a lot of the folks who watch live, I mean, I get to hang out with friends. I'm hanging out with more friends now doing live videos with all you guys than I would normally do. And we're just doing way more live videos to give you all something to do, and it's something for us, you know. Upside, it is generating some sales and it's generating some super chat. That's good. I think when there's, 50 or so people watching and maybe they get excited about a mask, someone might order one. That's good. And those sales are helping us. But yeah, I mean, it's so yeah. When somebody who I know, orders, we have fun. Because I did that, I have to mix up more flesh for him.
You always use dark colors first, then light?
I always do. I always go dark to light. I paint, because the darkest color is the furthest back, right? That's a shadow. So if you were painting the inside of a 5-gallon bucket, would you paint the bottom first and then get paint all over your arms? Well, wait, would you paint the edges first, the sides, and then get paint on your arms while you're trying to paint the bottom? No, you paint the bottom first and you work your way up towards the outside of the bucket. Work your way from the furthest back to the closest. That's what I do with my colors.
Have you watched Ginger Dead Man? It's a wonderful film for Gary Busey fans.
I have the Full Moon subscription, but I have not watched Ginger Dead Man. I will upon your recommendation.
Rob O'Brien, this is something to look forward to. Thank you. Plastic Ninja, the custom figure is going in my display. Plastic Ninja, I want you to know I had you all completely boxed up and ready to go. And then he came in and said, give me the box. He opened it back up so that he could put special
Right.
things in there for you.
Well, and that may be the world's smallest King Ghidorah figure. I have no idea. It might be. I haven't seen one smaller than that.
Okay. Is it just me, or does the mask in the back look like the ghost from Ghostbusters? I'm sorry if it actually is.
Slimer.
Ghost in the back?
Slimer. Right now it's a blank, and we're actually going to paint it green. That's our Grouch mask. And it has because it's based off of a cartoon, It has a bit of a cartoony look to it. Yeah. That don't hurt my feelings. But that is if, like, we are descended from Neanderthals, mostly, kind of, a little bit. Varying theories, I understand that. The grouch that I make is the angry caveman primal ancestor of the Grinch. And I made him for haunts that open at Christmas to have a scary version of the Grinch.
Good night, Jordan Moore has to go build a crib for a baby. That's
Build it up, buddy.
Stacy Birch. The light color you just dry brushed, never heavy, right?
Yeah, I'm just dry brushing it. I'm not, I don't have a fully loaded brush on here. Now when I go to the back and I want to touch this up, I have a lot more on my brush. But I'm just adding color to this so that it doesn't clash like it could. And we're gonna do hair last, but we'll be pretty close on these guys. I'm gonna do gums and stuff next.
Rodney Pope says, I really wanted a werewolf also, but these guys went out this time.
Well, again, we're doing waves of things. And I may end up sculpting a new Wolfman for myself. I have some ideas.
Hello, Pretty Wicked Desire. Hi, Alan and Shannon. It's painting day. I'm painting my bathroom and listening.
Sweet, I'm painting some Inbreds.
Plastic Ninja says, size doesn't matter. You special made it for me, so it's extra fantastic.
I did.
Spastic Pug. Ginger Dead isn't the best, but I feel it does well with the budget for most full moon films.
Yeah, you know what? Some of my favorite movies are full moon movies. I love Subspecies, the series. Radu.
Is that Radu?
Yeah, what a great vampire Radu is.
Yeah, you put him in the show last year.
There's another monster of theirs. The movie's not great, but the creature itself in Meridian is great. Good looking monster.
Horror Beauty says, Gravedigger, Jack Frost, 2020 Werewolf, and Moving Jaw, Snowman, and Blanks. These are a few of my favorite things. I really like the flesh base over the black base. Gives the mask a more human feel.
Well, this is the flesh over, this is the flesh and the light flesh. What we're going to do is we're going to do this opposite. Normal, because I'm going to antique this with a rub out here after a while. So you'll see a rub out technique happen.
Those are great masks. I don't think I've seen the snowman though. I'll put the snowman up on the website. I don't know if we've got proper snowman. You're gonna have to make a snowman mask.
Yeah, in my massive spare time.
Our last snowman sold and we haven't made a new one, and
For being unemployed, I sure am busy all the
you
time.
are busy. Roger Miller, just a fly on the wall tonight. Hello, Roger Miller.
Hey, Roger. Tomorrow, I will be being interviewed by Roger. So tomorrow night I won't be live, but I will. Roger, can you post some information about that? Good to see you on. I was going to mention that.
What would change from your standard sculpt werewolf? Oh, wait, goodness gracious, hang on. That was Stacy. Hang on, Stacy. What would change from your standard sculpt werewolf would you make for a female fit werewolf? This is our Stacy. Stacy Watkins.
The general face shape. I would change the face shape a little bit. And I would probably do the brows differently, because the male brow is a little straighter and the female brow arches a good bit more coming up off of the nose. But yeah, I mean, I would do a different sculpt for that. I would try to make it feel different. Okay. Liking these skin
Cowboys
tones.
and candlesticks. Hello.
Hello, cowboys.
Let him know we might get to paint the shark tonight.
Yeah, we may. Well,
It's his shark.
No, wait.
Yeah.
Because of how this one is, I want to do the next one. Because I poured up his today for foam filling.
Okay.
Because
it's thicker.
Yeah, and this one I patched the teeth on, and I think these teeth are going to come out perfect.
So Cobwebs and Candlesticks is getting a thicker skull. A
Yes,
thicker
I wanted it thicker, so I pulled it more. I don't remember when I pulled it yesterday. I said I kind of want 3 hours, so I actually did 3.5 hours on today's pour.
But you did fix the teeth on the first one.
Yes, yeah, I fixed the teeth on the first one.
Cobwebs and Candlesticks, if you get a chance, that he fixed those and they look great.
It could be either way, except the eyes are cut out of this one, which I can work around. It all depends. Let's see.
Hello from Claremore. We'll just be lurking around. This is Robert White. Hello, Robert.
Hey, Robert.
Dalton Fears. Hello.
Hey, Dalton.
Turned out amazing.
We're getting there. Okay, so here are my fleshy inbreds. Let's grab some other paint colors.
Ninja says, Cobwebs and Candlesticks inspired my unboxing. Did Cobwebs and Candlesticks do an unboxing of his fish mask?
I'll have to look.
Oh my goodness, did we?
Why
didn't you tell me?
Well, you don't like tag people the same way on YouTube the way you tag them on other social media.
I didn't know that you did an unboxing.
Face
Okay,
did an unboxing.
Hello, Connie. I'm excited to see this technique.
Oh yeah, you'll see a rub out this evening.
I love my snowman mask, Bob Boy.
Hooray!
Hello, Dead End Haunts. Hello, Fondant.
Helping me clean yesterday, my wife found this and she's like, I have no idea what this is.
Yeah.
And it's
is-
a cushion for your buttocks.
Yeah.
See how it's got the butt shape in it? I'm not sure why this hole is here,
That's
but
my point. That's my point.
whatever you're into.
Okay.
I'm going to try it out.
Fondant, this is the highlight of my day. Just going to be lurker as usual, making EVA mask while watching.
Oh, that's awesome. I want to see pictures when you're done.
Chance Speck says, paint this. He is.
I'm painting these. I paint this thing. Yeah, so my instinct is always dry brush, dry brush, dry brush. But I just wanted to go a little bit with these guys and do it a little different.
Okay. I got to see Cobwebs and Candlesticks Fishman unboxing. That had to be fun.
I saw pictures of it all
Oh
finished
no,
with
we're
everything.
gonna watch that. Stacy says, "Oh man, I didn't even process last time that you moved the fridge."
I did. Fridge is gone.
Yeah, Stacy, your workspace is all uncluttered and there's empty shelf space.
Not that your workspace was cluttered before. It was very nice.
Okay. Anyway, airbrushing a stormtrooper helmet for my nephew while watching this. The rub-out
Cool.
technique would really, really help me with this as well. Happen Mojo says, it's so you don't get pressure sores on your coccyx.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Be kind to your coccyx, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
there you go.
You only have one of those. Coccyx is one of my favorite body part words.
You just sold the crocus mats.
So we're putting a little bit of color under the... Are you guys too far away?
Always get close so they can see.
Okay. And I'll try to move whatever mask I'm working on a little, like, right here.
Well done.
Hey, doggo. She's moving the camera. Okay. And I don't want full color here. All I want to do is use this warm color to raise that temperature under the eyes, because there's extra blood right in there under the eyes. You know, that's going to be your eye bags. So I'm putting that in. I'm going to put a little bit of this color inside of that's not really a wound, it's more of a cleft, but I still think it should have a little bit of color in it. Lip too. Hold on, I think there's a puppy in the other room. There's no puppy in the other room. There's a printer in the other room, and I didn't know my wife was printing.
We just sold a Krampus mask. I'm prepping it. I'm prepping the sale.
I'm not used to having a printer in there. We have a shipping station with a printer, so it was making the weird noise. I'm like, what are they rummaging into in there? No, it was my wife.
It's me.
It's like throwing your voice, but she was throwing her work.
Speaking of snowman, my dog Bosco's favorite new toy is a snowball my son brought home from Dark Hour. One of the elves gave it to him, Kevin Donovan.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
That's fun.
Did you ever work Terror on Church Street or only Skull Kingdom? Says Big Monkey F-Easy Feds.
I did work at Terror on Church Street. Worked at Terror on Church Street 95, 96.
Question. When you panned the camera, I saw a red helmet. Is
Uh-oh.
that in your shop?
No, I don't sell it. That's the helmet from. Is it over there? Yeah, it's in from Bram Stoker's Dracula. I think it was over there.
Yeah, but you can't see it.
Yeah. But yes, it's not in our shop. We don't make that. That actually didn't go into production. Sometimes it's good to have mask maker friends. That was not a produced piece. It was originally intended to be sold, but in the middle of it, the license changed hands.
Scuba Steve just bought a white Krampus. Thank you so much.
Oh, very cool.
We will get him out to you ASAP. That is that's a beautiful piece.
Yeah, the Krampus is in white. Any time you have a creature with white fur, one of the most powerful visuals and scariest kind of in nature, I believe, is a polar bear that just ate a seal. This beautiful, pristine white animal that is just covered in gore. It's beautiful. But white monsters, white fur, it's a good look. It's a striking, powerful visual.
Dalton Fears, much love, but I gotta go. I just airbrushed my wall watching you and not paying attention.
Sweet.
Thank you, Scuba Steve. We'll get you taken care of. You will get some fun stuff in your package. Happening Mojo says, Tatpolis design. His style is pretty distinct. Is that the
Yes.
the Dracula?
Mm-hmm.
Oops, it's too much.
I think it's Tatopolis. Is that right?
Tatopolis? I'm sure it is Tatopolis, yes.
Yeah, even the vampire's armor in Underworld, I believe he also designed that. It's beautiful work.
Thank you, Larry Hughes. He says, I have the White Yeti. You love it.
And so it's a little hard to see what I'm doing here, but see that pink I just put in there? That's just with the brush. And I'm using the latex paint because I'm going to do a rub out with because these are going to get much darker. But I'm going to do the rub out with the alcohol-based ink. Well, I want to wipe away this. If I did this with alcohol, then it would go away. But if I do it with latex, then the alcohol won't take it off. So while I am just kind of doing some veiny-like things, and these don't have to be awesome right now, because they're going to get toned down and they're going to get altered by that rub out. So we're adding a little bit of color. This kind of signifies the blood that you can see through people's skin. There's actually a lot more red in people's skin than you think. And those soft areas, like inside of the ear, I'm hitting in there. And I might do the same with just a little bit of blues.
Cobwebs and candlesticks. My final Fishman video goes up in the morning. I have got to catch up with you, Cobwebs and Candlesticks. I want to see this. Tutworks Studios. One thing I like about your sculpting is the movement within the mask.
Thank you. I have been making I made my first latex mask in 1995, and for the first 10 years, 12 years, I was a bad sculptor. Like, I didn't even try. You know, it's like, okay, that's good enough. Whatever, it's good enough. Now, part of that is, you know, the way that I work, and often I am working on something that has a deadline or whatever. But also, some of it was just laziness and lack of knowledge. So now I work on my sculpting all the time. I want every sculpt to be better, and I want to improve. And not just do, but improve. And I don't want Three Finger to be too warm. So I'll probably do less of this on him.
Plastic Ninja says, I watch Cobwebs and Candlesticks in the morning, and this at night.
Awesome.
Evan Mojo says, yep, he has a very S&M Gothic gaunt style. His Godzilla 98 iguana look I don't care for, though. Kudos on doing something different, though. It's happening, Mojo.
You know what? I like the look. I just don't think it was Godzilla, you know? I think it looked good, but I would not have called it Godzilla.
Justin Pfeiffer, I just finished 2 body pelts from your videos, and I'm corpsing a skeleton now. You inspired my haunted house this year. Keep up the great work.
Cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Ezekiel Brett, go ahead.
I'm glad you're making stuff. That's awesome.
Ezekiel Bradshaw. Hey y'all, I'm not late. I've just been doing 1,000 things while watching. Hope everyone is awesome. Good to hear from you, buddy.
So I wanna say something too. Last night, I don't know if they're on again. We had a gentleman who mentioned he was deaf, and I want to say thank you to everybody who took what I said and paraphrased it and typed it out for that gentleman. That is, I didn't even know that was happening because I'm a little bit disassociated, but what a wonderful gesture. What a wonderful community that I'm proud to sponsor in some small way, that you guys were so kind and inclusive. That's really awesome, and I appreciate that. I work with a lot of haunts who benefit the deaf in one way or another, and but it's very cool. Very cool. Just thank you guys.
Did you ever take sculpting classes?
I have never taken a sculpting class. I've never taken a sculpting class. I was very lucky. There was one person who helped instruct me online, and it was, I probably posted my 150th terrible or 200th terrible mask that was okay, but I wasn't using visual reference properly. I wasn't as concerned about correct anatomy. I was phoning in on the ears, you know, so it just wasn't the best sculpt it could be by any means. And this guy, we went back and forth. He kind of started off, I posted one, and I said, you know, here's a new mask I made. He said, well, I wish you would have tried harder. And I bristled up a little bit. And then just in speaking back and forth, it's like, yeah, you know what, could you help me? And so now I really took that to heart. He did help me, you know. I would send pictures of the progress and then rake it out and then do it again, put in details and rake it out. And that changed, that helped my sculpting so much. So no real classes or anything, but you know, who doesn't have online instruction nowadays? You know, can you say that you did anything on your own? That's a real tough claim to navigate right now, with YouTube being so prevalent and so much information on there. Some of it good, at least 1/10 of what's out there is good information. Maybe even as high as 1/5 of that information is good.
One of Kansas says, hated Godzilla 98. And Classic News says, the 98 Godzilla sucked, but they made an animated series about it that was surprisingly dope. Daniel Wilson, I'm getting a black latex prosthetic for my costume this year, and I'm terrified to paint it because I don't want to mess it up or not like it. Any tips on how to get over my fear?
You're getting a black latex prosthetic?
Black latex prosthetic.
Well,
for my costume this year.
show me, send me some pictures and I can help talk you through it. I'd be more than happy to.
I'm going to have to order these guys again and have you phone fill them this time. Rodney, probably.
Oh, you want them as decor?
Jamie Thaxton, we got your back out. You really do. Says, wow, that was awesome about helping Paul out, who was.
Yeah, I see. Again, I don't see the names because I'm doing this.
Part of Beauty did an amazing job. She really jumped up on there, and everybody did. They all jumped in there to help Paul.
Well, thank you on that. So this is the one I have designated as a female, and it is my old woman sculpt. It's not the most womanly, but I have some plans. I'm gonna give her some makeup right now. I'm gonna red the lips, because basically when Rodney said, "Hey, can one be a female?" What popped in my mind immediately was Tasmanian Devil, when Bugs Bunny dresses him up as a female Tasmanian Devil. I don't know why that popped in my mind, but that's where I'm going to kind of go with this. Let me grab a couple other colors.
45 minutes on and 95 people.
Wow.
Where can I buy a mask? Is there a site? I really like the pig mask. It had 3 faces sewn together. My plans to be a butcher. Is it available in some way? Justin Pfeiffer. That is the original piggin that the sculpt, I believe the mold actually broke. But today, we debuted a brand new pig, which is War Piggin, which is on our blanks and can be painted up as a mask if you want to. Did you hear what I said?
War Piggin.
Justin Pfeiffer, he was talking about Piggin.
Yeah.
Piggin is gone. He wants to be a butcher, and he's talking about needing a pig mask.
War Piggin is perfect. Actually, Al Driver, a good friend of mine, sculpted it, and he did it. He sculpted it because I broke the piggin mold, and he wanted another piggin, and so he came to a monster camp and made himself a pig mask.
No, we don't have one ready but we have a blank, but you could.
Yeah, we have a blank, so you'd have to just order it through contact, so it's not like on the site right now. But yeah, I mean, that'd be cool.
Hello from Observation. Hello, that's Paula and Tracy. Hi, guys.
I keep setting my drink places where I can't see it from where I'm sitting.
You make the sculpting look so effortless.
I enjoy sculpting. And I think Jordy Shell makes sculpting look effortless. A lot of guys do. It's practice, and it's time. It's time in the chair. Let's do it. Or was I great on my first sculpt? Oh no. So.
Power of Beauty says he had fun even though he could not hear us. That is Paul. Power of Beauty did a lot of the work last night, and everybody jumped in there.
That is really awesome, and I appreciate it. I appreciate being part of this community.
Rodney Poe. I was going to ask you, Alan, is there something little I could do that will help me learn to sculpt before I take Monster Camp? I have clay for my daughter's art stuff. You don't have to do a thing, Rodney.
Well, No, you don't have to do anything, but if you sculpt an ear a day, just sculpt an ear. Sculpt an ear. Get a picture of an ear and sculpt just the ear and make it look like that picture. Not your concept of an ear, but make it look like that picture. And do that 10 days in a row, 20 days in a row. And then after that, then maybe do an eye, sculpt the eye, all the different parts of the eye. Pull pictures of an eye from YouTube, the area around the eye, and sculpt it. And then noses. My buddy, he said noses were the hardest thing for him. I am completely putting trash lipstick on this mask.
Mike Woodworks, hi Mike. How is Monster Camp going to be handled? When do you think the next one will be?
Talk to him, wife.
Hey Mike. Actually, Monster Camp 5 should have been last weekend, and
Yeah.
Monster Camp 6 should be next month, but we are not going to risk it, and we have rescheduled 5 and 6 for August and September, and in hopes that we can make that happen. So we are watching the developments, and we are hopeful that we can reschedule. Some folks just can't do August and September, and they opted out, and others went ahead and rescheduled, and that is what we are working on now, trying to salvage it, because we do not want to cancel it. So that's
Yeah,
where
so
are
we have
right
makeup dates, basically, is what's happening.
now. Correct.
And they're picking their makeup dates.
We get them too, in hopes they could do it. So it's August and mid-September, which is impossibly late, but we're going to give it a try.
But what my wife said she said I shouldn't tell anybody is that if more people pick one day than the other, we will have spots to open up, So she said not to tell anybody, so I'm not going to.
That's what I'm doing is I'm watching. There's some people I'm watching occupancy load. If some people are,
That ain't right.
it is not. It's terrible. If some people cancel, which they have, it opens a spot. And I do not want the classes to be too heavy, too crowded. But I think there's going to be some spots open in September. That is my hope.
Yeah.
Okay. Why you outed me like that? Bugs Bunny for the win. I am Hot Frog. Hello. I was also interested in how you were going to accomplish it, Rodney Pope. You mean Monster Camp? Well, we are.
He means the mask turning
okay.
into a woman.
Are you worried that haunts won't happen this year? This is from the Traveling Soldier.
I'm not. I think haunted houses will happen. Haunted houses may happen differently. Lots of haunted houses already are not appointment only, but they sell most of their tickets are sold online. So that timed ticketing aspect, that's going to be a big factor. That's going to help because then you're not standing in a whole crowd of people. Let's put white paint down somewhere.
Ezekiel says I could watch Mickey Rotella sculpt all day.
Oh yeah,
He's so fun and good.
and it's Mikey, honey.
Mikey?
Mikey Rotella.
Okay. Are Krampus parades in America still a thing? I know Scandinavian countries still do them. Americans seem to have moved on.
No, Krampus parades are still very much a thing. It happens. A lot of them are Krampus walks more than technically parades. But yeah, the event still happens. after I come in here with the all these paints, then I'm going to rub out, and then I'm going to airbrush on top of that.
Nose and ears are the hardest for most people, says Harvey.
I think most people give up on the ears. It's not that they're hard, but their brain holds an image of what they think ears look like, and they make it look like that, and they feel done.
Have a great night, all. Family time, says Bill Batchelor. Good
Hooray! Thanks for hanging with us, son Bill.
Cobwebs and Candlestick says, I'm not good with ears. I don't mind doing nose.
Yeah, three finger just does not have enough teeth. I used a lot of reference images when I did this first, and I was very upset with how few teeth he had.
Courtney Pepino, I just sent you I just tagged you in a post here about openings for the September class. So please send us an email and so I can talk to you. Richard McGrath from England. Hi, Alan. I'm thinking about sculpting a monster Elvis, and I'm going to call him Elvis. That's oh, that's great. You can't judge him when you watched a movie about Bigfoot today. That was so terrible. That's awesome.
Elvis.
Elvis. Oh my God.
Elvis.
That's great, Richard. That's great. Oh my goodness, that makes me happy. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Spastic Pug. Okay, Columbus, Ohio has a great Krampus parade. And we have a Krampus parade here in Ohio, says Fonda. Oh my goodness, that's funny. We have a Krampus walk here in Richmond, Virginia, says Daniel Wilson. Great. We have a Krampus walk every year in Salem, Massachusetts. Christopher Lissette.
I bet that's a good one.
I'll bet that's a big one. Oh my goodness, that's so funny.
Hey, funny.
Don't judge him for the movies you've been watching. Oh my God. Makes me happy.
Listen, post-apocalyptic commando shark lured me in with a really good cover.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Richard, that was the best.
Elvis.
Yes.
All right, so I need these teeth to dry, and then I think we're going to get to rubbing out. I'm actually a pretty big Elvis fan. I like Elvis. I think Elvis, I like a lot of his songs, and of course, he was an excellent performer. No one can disagree with that.
Well, Elvis sing you nothing but a three-headed hound dog to service, Jones. Third Degree of Terror. Please tell me the Bigfoot movie Alan watched was Suburban Sasquatch.
It wasn't. That's in my queue, in all honesty.
Boring.
What I watched today was a 1979 movie, maybe 77. That was Captured Bigfoot or Bigfoot Captured. It's a white Bigfoot. It's a very interesting looking suit. I need these teeth to dry. As soon as these teeth are dry, I can start doing some rub out.
Ezekiel would like you to serenade them with some Elvis. Ezekiel asked you.
Okay, all right, so
Ezekiel,
be prepared because you've heard me sing before and just know it isn't good. My favorite Elvis song, I think it's called, I don't know the name of it, One Night With You. One night with you is what I'm now praying for. Things that we two could plan would make my dreams come true. Just call my name. Yeah, it's Elvis, So that's a good one.
World tour.
Please don't judge that song on my version.
Oh my goodness. You got it, Ezekiel. He did that just for you.
Just for Ezekiel.
And he says he can't sing, Ezekiel says.
You heard 4 seconds, all right? It's when I go into deeper innings, fades off.
Tutwork says that is a scary woman. Chad Smith, hello, I'm late to the party. That
Hello.
flush tone, did you mix that up or is that straight up color?
This is a straight. All right, so because of people order things from me, I need them to be as consistent as possible. So if I mixed up my flesh tone every time, it would be very different each time, unless I like wrote down formulas and stuff. So instead, what I do is, if you look right here, these are all the colors that I use this year. And every year, I change the colors. So my flesh tone this year, I literally went to Home Depot, I stuck my arm by all the samples, I'm like, oh, that's really close. Because I'm a pretty dark-skinned guy, especially on my arms. And that's a good starting point for flesh tone. And then I can add a little bit of white and lighten it from there. So adding white is really the only thing that I'll do. And it lets me be very consistent in my colors.
Line Cook Thor 2006 says, I love it, Alan. You do Kiss better.
Well, Kiss is more like energy, and you gotta sing to do Elvis. You know, you can't just get by with Elvis here.
Spastic Pug. If Elvis were alive today, he'd be screaming in his coffin.
He'd be sad. That's what he would do.
Happening Mojo. Sam Elliott versus Bigfoot movie. Sounds crazy in a good way.
The man who killed Bigfoot and Hitler? Was that it?
Say hi to Mr. Jimmy.
Hi, Mr. Jimmy.
Scott Creighton. Alan, if this mask thing doesn't work out for you, we will look for you on The Voice.
No, look for me on like the Vegas Strip or something. Being the Apocalypse Elvis impersonator.
Marlene McKetchin. We should make a leather face mask.
A leather face mask? Well, I don't do a lot of. Okay.
Now, she did not say leather face. A leather face.
I have a YouTube video on that. I have a couple YouTube videos on making leather masks.
Now, Marlene, did you mean leather face?
Did you mean
Because
Leatherface, the guy from the movie?
That's not how she wrote it.
Right. But if you
Leatherface.
meant Leatherface, the guy from the movie, here I am going to say I don't do a lot of stuff for movies as I'm working on 4 masks from Wrong Turn. But I really don't do a lot of stuff for movies. But these are leftovers from a job I did years ago. And somebody wanted some sweet inbreds.
The Capture of Bigfoot, 1979, free on Amazon Prime. I'm on it, says Morin.
It's worth it. I also watched today. I watched Maneater with Gary Busey, about a tiger that eats people. It's good.
Ezekiel says, Vegas for Mr. Hops. Up the good. John Royski, if you guys haven't seen it yet, Bubba Hotep is a great Elvis monster movie.
I'm actually friends with Chuck, who is Chuck Williams is one of the producers on that. Okay,
Mr. Jimmy, I was getting ready to order a shark to paint.
Oh, fun! The sharks are fun. If I get these guys done, I'm painting a shark tonight.
Mr. Jimmy, but I realized it was $60 and a little short, so I'm gonna put more back.
Okay.
Chad Smith, I did my first spatter paint technique on the severed foot. It was too dark.
Cool.
So I lightened it up with a pale yellow and I went too far. Now it looks like a Homer Simpson foot. I'm going to start fresh.
You could start fresh or mix it with some red, or you could do what I'm doing now, which is a rub out. So in here, this is alcohol-based ink and alcohol. Ratios, just pick one that you like. You saw I was testing it on my hand to make sure I got something that I like. This is a reddish brown, and I'm going to put it on them, and then I'm going to take it off of them. So I need to get some paper towels that I've been saving for this porpoise, for this dolphin.
Elvis 68 comeback special was the best. Says
Oh,
Scott.
absolutely. Treating me like a fool.
Ezekiel says that Elvis white jumpsuit on Mr. Hops might not be a good idea. Uncomfortable.
No, I could put some eyes out with these buttons. Ting, ting, ting. But hey, I'm losing weight. I'm getting better.
Oh my goodness.
Treat me like a fool. Treat
We have
me
97 people watching.
Well,
Hello, Lockhart.
they got me singing Elvis, so odds are good we'll lose a few. I'll get it back down to a more manageable size for you, honey.
Lockhart Allen singing, just so you know.
Yeah, look out. Thank goodness I kept a stash of 99% alcohol before this whole thing started.
Jake Ryan. Jake Ryan. Does a wood stain act the same as that rub out on latex?
It depends on the wood stain. Pretty much yes. Here's why. Wood stain is meant for wood, which is an organic compound. Latex is tree sap, an organic compound.
Say hi to Lanny Williams. Hi, Lanny.
Hi, Lanny.
Hope you're doing okay, Lanny. Kiss Fan 05. Alan, you have been so inspiring with these live streams, and I'm thinking of signing up for Skills Share to learn to start sculpting.
Also, I would also look at Stan Winston School of Character Arts. That's a good one.
Okay, Monster Camp.
That's a good one. We also have Monster Camp, my wife says.
Courtney Pepino. I have some vinyl imitation leather I found roadside that would be the best way. What would be the best way to put it together? Glue, what kind, or stitches?
Sewing. Sew it. Vinyl is very hard to glue just because of its chemical makeup. It does not respond well to glues. Your best bet is probably contact cement.
Ezekiel Bradshaw. If you are singing and you love it, you're doing it right. I love hearing people sing while they work.
That is not uncommon.
Spastic Pug, can you sing the entire score of HMS Pinafore?
I don't even know what the HMS
I
Pinafore
don't
is.
even know what that is.
No, I don't know.
I see you're using 99% alcohol. Ed Edmonds uses 70%. I guess it doesn't really matter the percentage.
That's because I'm 18% bitter. No, it doesn't matter. No. Actually, what I do is I put 99% in there, and then I add some water, so it's probably close to 70%.
Courtney Pepino regarding the leather mask. Sailor's needle?
Yeah, like a nice curved needle or the kind that goes up and bends out. That's the easiest way to do it.
Do you have any videos about creating a banshee or a Celtic cryptic? This is Kevin Donovan.
Yes.
Celtic cryptic.
I actually have a video of me making a Kusith, which is a big green one of the dogs, one of the big fey dogs. There's Kusith. I don't have a video of making a Yep Hound, but I did some Yep Hounds. Those are Celtic cryptids. I don't have a video of the bean knee that I made.
That's because you were in a hustle.
I have a couple. I have a few, yes. Not a banshee per se, but I do have others. All right, so we're going to move you guys over here, and I'm going to do all of the...
The HMS Pinafore is a comic opera by Gilbert and Sullivan. He doesn't know Spastic Pug.
Yeah.
Here in the UK, we have an Elvis impersonator who is of Indian extraction. He's called Patelvis.
But Elvis. That is cooler than it needed to be.
Oh my God.
But Elvis.
Okay, I already love him, and I haven't even seen him. I'm gonna look that up. Thank you, Chris Lonsdale. That is hilarious. Patelvis. Oh my goodness, that would be so great. Happened in Mojo, Sideshow Bob sang it. Ezekiel says, I saw an Indian guy doing a Phil Collins tribute as a comedy act. My insides hurt for days after that show. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Okay, so here it goes.
Oh my goodness. I gotta look that up.
So I'm just getting it all brownie ready. And now I rub off as much as I want. And look at what it does to that detail. It just pops all of it.
Okay. Look at it.
Baby,
I'm-
you shouldn't be looking up the pelvis right now. You
I'm
should
not,
be
I'm
reading
not, I'm
comments.
reading. I'm talking to Hugo. But that's funny. I will prepare my passport. I will not miss the next monster camp.
Come on, Hugo.
When it becomes available, even my wife agreed to exchange the visit to New York for Quinlan. He agreed to take the course.
That may be the only time in history
It is the
where
other
someone
side.
has opted to go to Quinlan, Texas, as opposed to New York City. But come
Guys.
on, Hugo.
Quinlan is a tiny, tiny little town. Come on, Hugo. Come on, Ezekiel.
Yeah, we'll have World Edition.
Oh my God, it'll be the international class. How cool would that be?
See, I'm looking. I want to take off only as much as I need to.
Have your wingspan is covering up that camera. So you can see what you can- There you go. Oh my goodness, Hugo, that's funny. Hugo's coming from Brazil, Ezekiel. If I have that right, I believe Hugo's in Brazil. How fun is that?
There was a point in time when I could say the entire entry spiel to Skull Kingdom in Portuguese.
Happening Mojo. When do you decide to use a siphon airbrush versus gravity airbrush? Does it have to do with PSI or other factors?
Normally people pick one that they like. A lot of people like the siphon because the bottles are pretty neat, and the gravity feed airbrush, you're using smaller amounts at a time. So the bigger job may require, a bigger spray. You might want a different type of airbrush. I have two airbrushes on my setup. One is a Pache H, and the other is a Harbor Freight $10 airbrush, and that's what this is. And this is good for big coverage. So look at this guy compared to this guy. This is the next stage. Oh, you can't see. See the difference? See how much this pops? And I'm still going to do some red spatter on top of this. I'm still going. There's more layers to happen here, of course, but the rub out gets you a good percent of the way there.
Thank you, Justin Pfeiffer, for your order. Just ordered a war ticket. That is great. Thank you so much.
This is probably my favorite of the Wrong Turn brothers. In the movies, his name is Chiseltooth. And now alcohol dries very quickly, so I don't want to let this get away from me. I don't want to maybe do half of the head like I just did. I probably want to do, a quarter or something. And then I'm controlling. If I mess up, I take away too much. I can always put more on. Oh, ooh, sexy. You saw none of it. Look at that. See all the detail that comes out? It's in there, but it takes that technique to get it out. And now you can dry brush or you can rub out. This, I dry brushed a little bit, and then the most of my detail is being done through rub out.
Best Club says Elvis often ate steak. He loved meat tender.
Oh.
That was not Ross Reichert. That was Spastic Club.
So when I went to Graceland as a kid. We were driving across the country. Me, my grandmother, and my sister, we drove from Maryland to Texas in order to visit my father. We stopped by Graceland because my sister was a big Elvis fan, and I kind of became one because she was. Sister's 18 months older, you kind of do what they want to do because they're bigger. his personal motto was taking care of business. And I really liked that concept. And from visiting Graceland, I was kind of like, Elvis was a pretty cool person, you know? He collected trikes. He collected trikes, which are three-wheeled motorcycles. He took karate and, you know, became a black belt, which apparently was a legit black belt. It wasn't like a rich person black belt where, you know, you pay me enough and now I say you're a black belt. He was a legit black belt, which is actually really cool. And he worked really hard, and I think I can identify with that. I don't want to die naked on a toilet, you know, that'd be bad.
Can that be done with a chip brush, or would it work better with the airbrush? What you doing with that?
Chip brush is fine. Chip brush is absolutely fine. If you want, I'll chip brush the next one.
That's for Connie Pierce. So Connie, he's going to do a chip brush demo for you on the next one.
Yeah, I'll do this guy, free finger, I'll do one chip brush.
Scott McDonald. Agatha is Brazilian also. It would be cool if we were in the same monster camp as you go.
It would be cool. I gotta grab a little cup.
Cool. Ezekiel, I might have to convince the Swedish princess to come to monster camp too. Ezekiel, man, we would be overwhelmed. That would be fantastic. Justin just bought a pig, and he says, how much to have it painted? Warrior pig.
How much is war pigging in the?
War pigging is 60 because
Because
of the
it's so much
texture.
latex.
It's a lot of latex.
How
much to paint it? Now, Justin, does that also a strap or a sock?
Well, I'll strap it, and because normally a half mask is 75, so I'll do that. Painted, strapped, everything, 75, which is $15 more than you have paid. Right?
Correct.
My wife just gave me a look.
No, I'm
She's
just
like,
no.
look at you making deals.
I'm calculating, so I make sure that I have this right because you're going to fall over after this.
She ain't wrong. I am going to
I'm
fall
not
over
wrong.
after this.
Okay.
I just pressed the cup so that I could.
What color are you using in the airbrushes? Connie Pierce is asking.
Well, it is ink. The ink that's in here is Havana Brown from Pinata Inks. It is an ink, Pinata Brown. And then Pinata Havana Brown. And then there is alcohol added to it to thin it, because it's a little thick right out of the gate. That's probably not enough. What is this? Well, I made a mold with that. Probably shouldn't use that.
Thomas R. says, hey all, what's up, Alan? Rodney Pope says, those are looking amazing.
Hey, Thomas.
Here you go. Thanks for the warmth and care. Kevin Mojo, wasn't he a black belt under Ed Parker?
He was. Ed Parker Kendo.
Scott McDonald. I think
No,
Elvis,
Kempo, not Kendo.
I think Elvis also made an honorary chef by Richard Nixon, or an EEA agent, which would be so iconic. Kevin Mojo. Or ATF. There's a great Michael Shannon movie about Elvis meeting Nixon. You guys know. Michael Sudo. Adding alcohol is always good. Connie
Yeah.
Pierce. Will tangy leather dye work?
Yes, but in that case, you're not going to rub out with alcohol, because that's not well, there's water-based leather dye and there's alcohol-based leather dye. It will work with the alcohol-based leather dye, yes. Okay, this is with a chip brush. You can see I'm putting this on with a chip brush. And I have this mixed up a little lighter than before. But that's okay, because I actually want Three Finger to be lighter. He was not a tan person. But I think this gives him a nice dirty look.
We have 105 people watching.
105.
105 people on a Monday night.
If all 105 people watching tell one friend, then 105 other people will say, who cares?
Sweet looking mask, or is it a bust? It looks awesome.
This is a mask. It's on a head form so that I can paint it easily. And thank you. I'm glad you like it.
Kitty wants to hear you do a little Twisted Sister. Oh my goodness.
Well,
Michael Lassiter, airbrush, chip brush, spray bottle, bucket, it all works. Rodney Pope says we need to hit thumbs up, and Jim Obit says I have told all my friends. Thank you, everybody.
whenever I type that, I have told all my friends.
Jukebox Hots.
One friend.
Is there a type of clay I would want to start with, or does that even matter?
It doesn't matter.
Connie, are you seeing this?
I like water-based. Clay. I prefer that. All right, so I softened up my rub out because I was afraid it was going to be too much, and I think it was too soft. I'm going to hit it again. I do have it. I have it in the depths. I see it. It made a difference, but not enough of a one. I'm not known for my subtlety. Let's be honest.
Okay, guys, they're both watching because she was asking about the chip brush application.
Yeah.
And you're using a chip brush.
Oh yeah, see this is a much richer color here that I've got now. See, this is the chip brush, and it's gonna do all the same things because I have a video on YouTube Wednesday, which is it's called dry brushing versus antiquing. It's two very different, this is antiquing. I'm putting it on really wet and really heavy, and then I'm wiping it off, and it is staying in the deep areas. When you dry brush, you start with a dark color, and you go lighter and lighter and lighter, and you're making the highlights lighter. Here, you're making the depths darker. It's kind of the difference. Ordinarily, I prefer to do dry brushing. Human skin, I tend to prefer to do this technique. I think it makes the human skin that I do look better.
I tell my students to watch your videos if they're into special effects. A few of them are makeup artists here. That's happening in Mojo.
Very cool. Awesome. I don't know your actual name, so every time I'm a Latex Mask Central moderator, which is a Facebook group, every time that I get someone from Thailand, I'm like, I wonder if this is happening in Mojo, because I have to approve the members and stuff. Okay. Yes. Now that got me darker depths. And if you look, everything that I did, let me free you from this prison. Let me take these broken wings. See, now, I did red under the eye. There's a little bit of that pink influence there. That's still there. Over here. You can see a little bit of that pink showing up in here. It's subtle, but it's there and it's happening. Oh, that looks delicious.
Thank you, Michael Lester. Thank you, Scott. Scott Goldhart, helping us with the links here, the dry brush video and the prop painting techniques video.
You're a good man, sir.
Thank you so much.
They can see wife.
Here. Always on top of it, they really are. Ezekiel, take these inbred masks to the tune of Broken Wings.
Take these inbred masks
Oh, stop.
and learn to squeal like pigs.
Oh, my goodness.
Shouldn't have said
You
that.
are not helping.
Take these inbred masks Hey, sorry about that. When I pick you up by the cord, just girl things. Okay.
I've fallen. Ouch.
I was trying to make it better. I'm not. See, I took the case off before. I,
You cracked your screen.
no, I didn't crack my screen.
Who's been drinking? They're laughing at you. Oh my head.
Okay. There we go. That's
Blair, which camera work? I spit my drink. My head hurts.
all right. So yeah, that's brush. So yeah, it works both. Put that back in there. Put the lid back on my rub out compound.
I've fallen and I can't get up. Alan Zilla.
I pre-mix it
Oh,
so that I am able to because if I only mixed it in this little container, then I might run out, and then the next mix I do might not have the same strength. So yeah.
Michael Asher says the ride over. Michael Sudo wants to know what's in your orange drink. Stacey Hawkins says you shifted my content. Commissar, have you ever thought about small details in latex like shark teeth? Not to be complicated, but have you ever thought about using spurs to tips with fish tank airlines? Just trim after the pull.
Hold on, wife.
Have you ever thought about small details in latex like shark teeth? Not to be complicated, but have you ever thought of using spurs? Is that right, Thomasar? Spurs to tips with fish tank airlines, then just trim after the pull.
I don't know what you mean.
Okay.
I can't grasp that right now. I'm sorry.
Sprues. Sprues? Thomasar. You can turn around and read that. Just read it.
Okay.
Read Thomasar's comment. You might be.
Have you ever thought about small details in latex like shark teeth? Not to be complicated. Have you ever thought of using screws? I still don't understand.
See?
Yeah, I don't, I'm sorry.
We're waiting
More
for
typing, more words? And you may look at what you wrote and said, I said it perfectly. You're an idiot. And that is possible. This is a girl inbred.
Hello, Alan and White. Hello, Grandpa.
Hello!
He is talking about spruce like on a model.
A sprue, S-P-R-U-E, sprue. I do that on my resin things that I'm molding in a silicone mold. It's just not practical in a latex mold application. Yeah, I gotcha. Now I understand.
How long does it take to walk through dark alley?
Right just under 30 minutes.
The female mask is seriously reminding me of a John Waters film.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was going for.
That's spastic pug. Who
I-
sent you a caricature today?
I promise it won't eat dog poop. Yes, I did. I got a caricature. Caricature. Just kind of want to get most of that off.
Spastic pug, she reminds me of Dee Snyder from Twisted Sister. Thomas Starr, did that answer your question?
Yeah, I use sprues sometimes on silicone molds when I'm molding resin. But it's not as practical when you are doing things with latex and plaster. Cleaning it out is a bear. Yeah.
You got his answer? That's a yes. So is that the female?
Yes. Oh, it's a girl. When I finish the hair, I'm gonna go bow on her head. Yeah, that'll really sell it.
Don't get distracted and leave the stain on too long. What did you do?
Once you use alcohol, it reactivates it, so you can wipe it away.
Lady Man Inbred, I've seen that guy at the family reunion. I think he's my wife's side. That's Ezekiel.
Yeah, that happens some.
Oh, Mike Suda said, make that bow pink. Scott McDonald says, I went shopping today and I got me some Pledge and Weldwood contact cement. Thank you for the tips.
Good stuff. Hope that use them wisely. Keep them secret. Keep them safe. Remember, I said that three finger is not as dark as the others. Let's see if I can just bring that down a notch with some alcohol. That is well and dry.
Super dark.
Yeah, it's coming up. Yeah, I'm just pulling him back a little.
I made Mike Suda more than orange drink. Spastic Pug. It was a female trouble. Divine had half her face melted and thought it was beautiful. Hilarious but highly unfriendly film. Grimpath ought to change the names to the people of Walmart. Mike Sudo, it's looking awesome. It does look good.
Yeah, well, for human skin, this is what I like to do. Not on the monster stuff, I prefer dry brush. But I think these guys have a place.
The mask in the middle looks like an old bus driver I had in school, seared in my mind. People of Walmart costume comes with nappy and assless chaps. Ezekiel.
Thanks, Ezekiel. Appreciate that.
Looking so great, looking so real. Great work, said David Gibson.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you, David.
All right, so I'm gonna hit the gums a little bit with more magenta.
Al Nacho says the yellow one, likes the one of the yellow ones. I also follow one of your students, Monster Tutorials, so cool. He was Monster Camp too.
Yes, he was a student in Monster Camp too. Not like a student in life, he has his own style, he does awesome work, and he was doing it before he came to Monster Camp. But, yeah, awesome guy.
Classic Ninja, I worked at Walmart. It's definitely tank tops and way too short shorts. Ezekiel says, Walmart, one of my favorite places to visit from Australia. Tomastar, that's what nightmares are made of. Scratch Tug, I was just imagining what kind of conversations these three characters would have. Justin Hill, if you purchased a mask for resale, is there a problem if you build a body with it on them and then sell the body? Did you catch that?
Yeah, I get it. Are you copying the mask and making more of it? Because if the answer is no, and you are only, you're making a body and then putting their mask on it and selling it, that's fine. If you molded their work, that's theft. So that's what you have to be careful of. So anything I do right now, everything has been calmed down by the rub out. And some of these things I want to pop a little bit more still. Like I want all my gums to pop more. But subtlety is kind of key when it comes to human stuff. You know, you might think that there's all these different colors. Humans are pretty boring. It's a very fine range that this stuff happens in. And Chiseltooth's teeth I'll hit again, of course. So I don't mind going over them even with this magenta. I see a question about weldwood contact cement. If it froze, but it's still liquid, it'll still work. A lot of times when it freezes, it becomes hard. It becomes a hockey puck, and then it is useless. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 9:23 p.m.
think
Did
we'll-
you answer Brent Whistler? Hi, Brent.
What was his question?
Would this technique work over orange pumpkin skin on a mask, or better, to dry brush?
Absolutely.
What spray adhesive you used on the female texture? I think you answered that.
Weldwood contact cement spray adhesive. Not the stuff in the can, the stuff in the spray can. Let's hit them teeths. You know what? Let's not hit the teeth. We'll do the teeth last. Let's do a little bit of spattering. How's that sound?
The one with the hair lift looks like Colby Covington from his last fight.
This one.
The rightmost one looks like an original Star Trek yellow shirt that was accidentally phased by a red shirt.
That-
Creators of the Darkness says, hi from Canada.
Hello.
My quart-sized can of Wedgwood.
I just answered that.
Thank you.
No problem.
Cameron Steinblock, how did you get into this kind of stuff?
I just started. I did my first haunted house when I was 10. I loved it, and I wanted to keep doing it. And I've always been a little bit art inclined, but in 1995, I was unboxing masks for Terror on Church Street's gift shop that they sold. And because I liked working in haunted houses, I actually kept trying them on. And every mask that I tried on, I couldn't see and I couldn't breathe. So, because I couldn't see and couldn't breathe, I was not a fan. So I said, you know what, if I want to really work in these masks, I got to make my own.
Wondering, is it always apply, then rub off? Apply, rub off technique? Is it always the
Rub out, yes, rub out works that way.
Do these mouths actually open when the person is wearing them?
It depends on the size of their head. But you know, if their head is real small, then they won't be able to activate it. But every one of these, I would be able to operate the mouth.
Rodney Pope, so glad I got these guys.
But you can also pad it out a little bit to make sure the padding touches, and then you would have contact, so you would have movement. Okay.
Looks like a couple of guys from Deliverance.
Yes. See these inbred guys and learn to paddle fast.
Looks like the bridge crew from the Starship Enterprise. Yesterday was Tim Curry's birthday. He's 74. Yay, Tim Curry.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
He is awesome.
This is where Mr. Hops needs glasses. I have a hard time getting this pin into this hole.
Here,
I got it. I did it.
can I get you some glasses?
I'm getting old.
It's funny to me what you say. Do you know how old you're going to be in July?
No. In July, I'm going to be 44,
45.
45. I'll be 45 in
And
July.
you think you're old.
I don't look a day over 64.
He not old. You're a young man. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so I'll do a little bit of speckling, and I'm going to
Hello, body geeks.
cut one of these brushes down. So this one chip brush is now not as chippy. It's more chippy. It's chipper. Put a little red on it. And I test. I don't want to necessarily do it right on the mask. Okay. And what's happening is I'm getting just little flecks of color.
Get yourself a torch tip cleaner. It would make your life easier cleaning airbrushes.
What I normally use clean airbrushes is carburetor cleaner, and that does a pretty bang up job.
I want to grouch blank as well, says Body Geeks. Body Geeks, I have in stock. I can put it on your shelf. Notice I didn't say box. I said shelf, because you have a shelf. Must be having one heck of a good night. Sorry for all the silly comments. No, you guys are great. You guys are great. This is
Okay, so can you see those little speckles on there? Can they see little speckles, honey?
a little closer.
I'm gonna drop you on your head again.
Yeah.
See them speckles? That's breaking up that skin tone.
Yeah.
And that came from the brush and me doing this jobber. Just that little bit. And I'm about to do blue. We'll do it again with blue. And these aren't necessarily colors that you think of in skin, but they're in there.
Planning a hard coat test tomorrow. Coating polystyrene, my apologies. Coating polystyrene foam with a latex house paint. When it is cured, I plan to test Pole Raptor's new aerosol can 2K polyurethane.
Cool. Awesome.
So it's very cool, nice. It
And that is
definitely
pronounced
adds-
polyurea.
polyurea. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Definitely adds to the effect. But again, it looked like rejected vaudeville acts. Oh,
I can see that. And I'm going to fleck heavier on this side that has all the scarring and stuff. And what you can do with this is you're not changing the color, but in a way you're changing the temperature. Now these guys are already pretty warm already, and I'm actually adding warmth to it. So I'm not changing the temperature right now, but I'm about to do blue! And again, you don't think of blue as being in human skin, but it's in there. I want to get everything off of this brush first. So I'm brushing it just against the table. So nothing comes off. Out of clean table.
good night, Scott Creighton. Good to have you on. Yay, they look so warm and friendly.
Yes, I just want to hug them. And I have blue on here. And probably less generous with the blue. Certainly some. And this is really where you'll see a temperature change. Because this isn't a warm color, this is a cool color.
Happen to know, Jim. A tip I just tried for softening chip brushes is to soak them in a jar with water and a few drops of Windex and a dryer sheet.
Very interesting.
How interesting that is. Think you have it in Mojo? Cameron Steinbach. About how long does it take to make a mask?
16 hours.
Mike Sudo. Being a graphic designer and working with color all the time, yes, blue is a definite essential. I never thought of that. Jeez. David's Outdoor 2012. Thomas doing a few coats. It's still going to eat the styrofoam. I work with that stuff all the time. Tetwork Studios. Would love to see a road construction guys wearing those on the side of the road. People would freak.
Well, they wouldn't stop. And this isn't something that your brain is really gonna like take in. But the sum of its parts, you will take in. This is not my average paint job. This is probably a much fancier paint job than I normally do. But they're inbreds. I want to have some fun with inbreds. Who doesn't? Wife's like, I don't want to have fun with inbreds. Okay. Should we go green? Should we do some green flecking on there too? What do you think?
I kind of want to put one on, just walk around town and freak people out. Are you asking them if you should do green?
Yeah. Should we do another layer of green? Now, can you see the blue flecks in there? Just the tiniest flecks, but it breaks it up.
You look like you're playing some kind of stringed instrument.
Dong, 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 dong.
Absolutely, says Connie. Spastic Pug says the Beverly Hellbillies.
Beverly Hellbillies.
Oh, goodness. Go
Why don't
green.
you tell them a little story?
Okay, I'm going to tell you a quick story, guys. I've actually been waiting for this. Okay, so in 2007, Alan and I actually had Halloween night off, and that's because the Halloween park we worked at did not open on Halloween night if it opened in the middle of the week. And then this Halloween fell on Wednesday. I mean, could it be more in the middle of the week? And so I was going to have a Halloween party, and I was going to have it on a Halloween night. Yes, a Wednesday, but it's Halloween, and you shouldn't be, idle on Halloween night. It's kind of sacred. And so this was going to be a very big party, and it was a big party. And Alan, and as the day, he had the whole day off, and I was working furiously to get the party going. You know where I'm going with this story, don't you?
I'm not sure.
And I was working furiously all day.
Oh, yes, I do know where you're going.
The party began at 6:30, then the doors opened. At 6 o'clock, Alan was still relaxing on the couch and not just not even remotely interested in this party. He was just in a very relaxed mode, and I was getting very annoyed at him. He's like, Alan, you're supposed to wear a costume. You don't even know what you're gonna wear. And I was so annoyed. And he goes, baby, don't worry about it. I'm gonna have a costume. And I'm like, here in 30 minutes. Another 15 minutes pass. It's now 15 minutes before the party begins. And he still has not gotten off the internet. Does not care. I'm so annoyed at him. He says, okay.
That late in the season, a lot of my work is done.
And he was
I was in full chill mode at
he
that
was
point in the
in
year.
done mode, and I was in full hostess mode. Southern hostess mode, which is worse. And it's worse. He gets up, he goes into the garage, and he closes the door. And I am just boiling mad at this point because I'm so annoyed at the fact that, he's the host of the party, I'm the hostess. He's not gonna be in a costume. How lame. He's Mr. Halloween. And in 5 minutes, and they can't see you, you're blocking out this big old shoulders. In 5 minutes, the door opens, and he walks out in a full, from head to toe, and I mean gloves, mask, head to toe, white Yeti costume that I have never seen. We've been married 3 years. I know every inch of this house. He showed up after we were married with a couple of duffel bags and a mask. That's all he brought. Where did this costume come from? Out of nowhere, this enormous Yeti mask.
Had it.
And I just had it. And he's like, okay, wife, I'm ready. And by God, he was ready. He was beautiful. Giant white Yeti. just didn't even blink an eye, and here I am foaming at the mouth, so thrilled, and then mad as hell because he just walked in and walked out. It was like,
Because she had to holster her iron.
I had to holster
That's
it.
why she was upset.
And he was perfect. Of course, now the trick-or-treaters start coming, and our house is lit up like a fair, and so trick-or-treaters are coming from everywhere. And he sits out there in that Yeti costume with a bowl of candy and scares the hell out of neighborhood kids for about 3 hours.
Hooray!
And they loved it, and it was a madhouse. And this is when I learned, when he says he's got something to wear, I will never again question. I will have faith, and I know somewhere he's got a costume. And
Yeah,
again,
if I say don't worry about it, wife,
Don't worry.
But she doesn't worry about it.
but now I don't worry about it anymore because I still don't know where he hid that giant Yeti costume and just popped out with no problem, and then he's fine. Mr. Yeti, I don't know how he did it. I still don't know where he had it.
And Rodney Pope, thank you very much for your super chat. I appreciate that. I find it odd that I'm making your mask that you purchased, and you still were removed to give on super chat. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Creators of Darkness, here is 9:39. Laughing. I just had it.
Yeah, just
People
have
that do
it.
FX or costume will always pull something out when you least expect it. Never question that. Horror Beauty, I know that now. But
Yeah.
as the new Mrs. Hops, I did not know that then.
Yeah.
That's Yeti love. What
You don't
state are
know.
you guys in? Cameron, we're in Texas. Oh my goodness, you guys, it was one of those amazing moments.
Okay, so now you're going to watch 10 minutes of Alan cussing at an airbrush.
That's how all life should be. I got it covered.
Okay, so I've got black in there right now. I don't want black, I want brown. So I'm going to switch. Black is going to be way too harsh.
Okay, I've told story. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I'll be right
I've now switched from the latex mask paint, which I was using. Now I'm going back to my Pinata inks, okay? These are the inks that I use. And I'm just shooting out the airbrush to get that black out of there. So when I put brown, I don't have to mess with it. I'm looking for a color called Burrow Brown because I want a darker brown. Now see, I probably should wonder if I have a Burrow Brown already open somewhere and not open this one, but I didn't. Okay. And along with that brown, this brown is going to be a little dark too. So I'm going to shoot a little bit of alcohol down in here so that I'm shooting some alcohol in here to thin that a little bit. And now to mix it, I'm going to mix it up in the airbrush well. Put my finger over the end. And that causes just enough bubbling in the airbrush to make it mix. And now I have a much calmer brown than I originally did. And if I'm lucky, I won't drop my airbrush on the floor and waste all that ink. Yes, this is Daryl, and other brother Daryl. It is a happy little tree. It's a happy little capillary. A happy little whatever. All right. So This guy, I'm just going to do a little bit of shading on him. Don't start in the middle of your face. Always like test somewhere else. Like don't start on the middle of his head, you know? A little heavy. And this is where I can put in as much drama as I want. How much drama do you want? This is drama. Shading is drama. Pop that line a little bit more. That little piece of the skull that I just put in there. That's not sculpted in. So I just did it with the airbrush. There's some nice lumpy bumpies happening up on top of the head. Okay, cool. That is him. I'm gonna move him. Yeah. Hey there, Bubba. His eye is going to get hit again. Talk to this little lady right here. Pajambo. That's awesome. Pajambo. I like it. We do have happy little inbreds. They don't have to worry about dating apps. And now these are brows here. If I can go over that brow right there a little bit. Okay. And I think I'm going to pop in this and just do some detailing there. Just make this stand out a little more. I want to define this space so that what's happening on this side of her face is its own thing. And that's something to think about when you're sculpting too, is define areas with like actual lines sometimes. Like I very clearly put in an eye bag so I can paint this a different color. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't always know where to put that paint.
Where did that leave you?
Honey, I haven't looked at anything.
Great. You're a little girl dog, you need to move. I remember showing up with my props for my Shakespeare play, and my drama teacher like, "Did you buy this stuff?" It's like, "No, I just had it." You're still laughing at your story.
Yeah.
Parents get pissed at me when I send my kids to costume competition at school. We won it every year. I just have it in the dungeon. One of the biggest mysteries: will Adam ever clean his airbrush after using it?
No. You know what? And because if you don't have to, why waste that time? If I don't have to clean my airbrush for it to function, then why waste the time doing that?
What is the name of your store?
StiltBeastStudios.com? Do they mean me? Okay.
Hi, my name's Daryl,
Hey,
and
Daryl.
this is my other brother Daryl. His brother Daryl and our other brother Daryl. 100 people are watching.
Bob Newhart reference.
We've got a whole Bob Ross thing going on here with the Happy Little Tree. So do this for you. Beth Williams. Hi, Beth.
Hey, Beth.
What is the name of the paint?
This is Pinata inks. They're alcohol-based inks. This color happens to be Burrow Brown. I buy it from Amazon. You should pay about $11 a bottle. But it goes a long way, and you can cut it as much as 50-50 with alcohol.
Cosplay has really upped the competition for costume contests around Halloween. Iron sharpens iron.
It absolutely has. It has. Costumes are just better now, you know. More people care, number one. And there's a mentality to it that folks just have.
I once won a Halloween contest when I was 13. I went as Pajambo, Rambo in diapers with his toy M16, plastic grenades, and camp big That's body beat. The new Bob Ross, and over here we have a happy little inbred, followed by a happy little werewolf.
I can think of 10 reasons right off the bat why inbreds are happy.
Iron sharpens iron. I first heard that expression from Randy Couture,
Yeah.
UFC Hall of Famer. Happen and Moto, we love Randy Couture.
Bit of a Randy fan.
Did you add her eyebrows after the pool?
No, the eyebrows were in the sculpture.
Camille Pop Revelle says incredible. Thank you. And we just changed the slightest aging right over here. A little bit of blood over there.
Yeah.
Looks like she had a fight with a cheese grater. Well, that's a lot of texture.
She don't listen.
I know that's a pache, but you gotta love Harbor Freight airbrushes. I swear it's a direct copy of my very old eyeliner.
Yeah, the Harbor Freight brushes aren't bad, man. I like them.
Mike Suda says it's coming out great.
Did I get everybody here with the airbrushing? You did not get airbrushing. And this is one of the more subtle things I do. You know, I don't do a lot of subtle painting for masks, so it's actually kind of nice to do this and do it differently. I'm a bit of a heavy-handed brute. Because I'm painting normally for very dramatic lighting. So I do the higher drama paint jobs.
Cameron Steinbach, I just tagged you on the link to the store. That is what we have right now. If you are asking about a custom order, then I need you to write us at the email I'm about to send to you. And that's where we can talk about custom orders.
And you guys might not even be able to tell that anything is happening here, but I'm changing some things. I'm shooting up underneath, and I'm putting an under shadow on things. I just liked how his head was tilt back, and I'm taking advantage of that by shadowing up underneath. See, it's actually taking me 2 or 3 passes to get a real line because this paint is so thin and I have just so little coming out. But that subtlety, it gives you more options.
I can't wait to do costumes for these, says Rodney.
I can't wait to see them.
Are you going to hair these?
Yeah.
did you come up with the name Stiltby Studio?
I make beasts on stilts. So I am a stilt beast. In my acting career, I built my haunted house acting career on stilt costumes. Okay.
KK Moon makes great Iwata clones, which you need to polish the needle and replace the O-rings. I use beeswax. It's happening.
Cool. Captain Mojo, I wish we could do a show together. You seem to have a lot of knowledge.
I don't know, but the song "Isn't She Lovely" seems to come to mind.
All right, so that's that.
Hello, Chris and Hannah Ratliff. Hi, guys. Chris Ratliff.
Hey!
Hey, guys. I don't know. Outside.
I don't know why the dogs just went
Outside.
nuts. Who knows?
Go on. Outside.
But let's line up our inbreds.
Outside. Go see. Go. Go on. Go.
Shannon said, "Hi, guys." And I think that they thought someone was here and they ought to bark.
They're learning to protect.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, we were sleeping. Sorry. Sorry about that.
Very impressed with this.
It won't happen again. Didn't mean it."
Zika said, "LOL, she don't listen."
Okay, back up a little bit more. We gotta redo the teeth, but I'm gonna mix something I don't do all the time. I'm gonna put some yellow in the teeth, white, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of flesh color in the teeth to calm it down.
How many shows a year do you do?
Dark Hour does between 5 and 8 different haunt shows every year, and as far as shows that I go and vend and sell at, we do 2 or 3 most of the time. We may do more down the road.
What is your favorite mask company?
I like Zagone Studios. Okay, you have to like Immortal Masks. Let's just start there. Immortal Masks, silicone masks, revolutionized, kind of the mask world. Yes, SPFX masks did it first, but Immortal does it better. I hate to say that. I mean, but it's real hard to beat that sculpting ability. CFX is also good, but I forget what I was talking about. Oh yeah, but as far as latex masks go, Trick or Treat Studios, they do great masks for the price. Because you said company, you didn't say individual.
Company,
And
correct.
those are a little bit different. That's a good tooth color. I want to go a little lighter than that. It can't be jarring. And if I went too light, it would be jarring because of these paint jobs.
Wouldn't it be crazy to see these masks on 6 o'clock news for a bank heist?
Well, if that happens, I will not rat you out, Rodney.
There was a run. You said hi, that thought someone was here. Puppies are protecting you from ghosts. Possum got their attention. There must be a ghost. They think they're tough. They're really not. Okay, I'm caught up.
Honey, thank you so much for reading comments for me.
Oh, I'm glad to do it.
Um,
It's a lot. coming
if you
in.
want,
That's
if
good.
you want something to take longer, film yourself doing it. And if you want to get even less done, try keeping up with comments. It is very difficult, and you make my life much easier, and I appreciate that. Okay, let's hit this eye again. That kind of got turned into flesh up there, didn't it?
Real teeth and not straight white. Only Hollywood cartoon teeth. It's true to do it better. They're
Well,
gummers.
Yeah, you know what though? When I paint masks for haunts, I often use pure white on the teeth because they're in such a low light environment, and I want those teeth to stand out. When that monster recedes into the darkness, I want I want the teeth to be the last thing people see. That's an important psychological aspect for me that I like to keep.
Oh, you're welcome, Connie. I'm glad to do it. It's tough. It's a lot to juggle, but we got it.
Okay, so we're kind of getting there, but I think he needs more happening right in here. I want to put in some maroons. I want to put in some bruise in there. This isn't fresh. This is all healed up, but I would just like it better with some color. So I'm going to definitely do that. But I think that's it for these guys. I really think that the flesh on them is done, and now it's going to be hair that's going to do a lot of the job of it.
I'd like to see your rendition of a zombie potato head. Good for a farm haunt. Tater vines for hair, a gnarly tater head. Thank you for your share. I'm glad to do it.
Tater head.
Tater head, that's fun. A potato head, that's kind of like a melon head.
Mm-hmm.
Does the UV from the backlights harm the latex or just the UV from the directs?
It harms the latex. All UV hurts latex. What did I just say? Oh, maroon, burgundy in there.
Hey, Alan, working on a hat box ghost. How would you go about doing the head in the hat box? It needs to be light. Hat box ghost.
I have a video on my YouTube channel on making a skull out of styrofoam wig head, and you could use that basic technique, change the paint, change the way that you carve it up, and make yourself a hat box ghost. Now I don't mind there still being brown in there. I'm not going to get all the brown out. I'm going to add that burgundy color I like.
Do the tater head. Wait, doesn't he work while he's falling?
You know, tater head I think is actually a brilliant concept, and I may do that. I like it.
If I custom ordered something, will it have to be something you've already made, or can be something new?
Oh, it could be something new. Yeah. Now, oftentimes I might say, well, that's similar to this, and I could you can change up latex masks amazingly in this. You can. So if there's a way for me to do it for you cheaper and get you what you want, then I'll do that. But yeah, I can do a new sculpting mold, no problem. Great. Okay, now I have a good color here. A little bit of magenta, a little bit of brown. Makes them happy. Any comments there, love? Questions?
Yeah, the kitten just walked across the. I will look at that. This is hard beauty about the hat box ghost. What would you use to make the hat box and it not be too heavy?
Well, you have to make it so that or if you're doing a true hat box ghost, and you're going to put a light inside of it, so it's got to have a scrim aspect to it. So I would do a frame for the hat box out of probably EVA foam and or plastic coat hangers. And then
No one does strip mask.
was that something 1980?
Yes. How did you know?
Because he has a shrimp thing. He's like, it'd be good with a shrimp in his mouth. He's got a shrimp problem.
How did you know? Oh, that's fun. Howard, you said 1980, you were shrimp. I was not watching cat videos, Body Geek, but a kitten did walk across the screen. We have a kitten in the shop. We have a kitten here, so that was, I was not watching kitten
Okay,
videos.
so I think that what I just did added a good bit to him, and I think I'm going to go a little bit darker.
What was the cow said, a custom order depending on what it was.
It depends on what it is, but normally if I can make it out of a half mask, then you're talking $250, and if you're talking a full mask, it's $450, I think. I got this written down somewhere.
Thomas R. is expecting you to break into song.
Expect me to what?
He's expecting you to break into song. Oh my gosh.
I could. Okay, so this is a single action airbrush. A lot of people say that single action airbrushes, you can't make fine lines with them. So look at this bottle, there's nothing on it, because, you know, my eyes aren't that good.
That really made it pop. Line them up in a diamond formation. It would look like the inbred Queen Bohemian Rhapsody. Oh, that's fun. That's true. So great.
So
idea.
see the little fine, like I can write my name, and I want to do some vein work on some of these guys. So I did this to go around the side.
This is the best man versus Taterhead.
What's that, honey?
Ezekiel said best man versus Taterhead. Next sculpt video.
Well, Beastman. I actually have some ideas for the next sculpt video, which will be Wednesday night, by the way.
Stop, collaborate, and listen. Taterhead. They're all kidding. What did you do for an insane asylum-themed mask?
Dude, I love Insane Asylum themed masks. I actually do. We have an asylum at Dark Hour, and I did a whole bunch of masks for it that was very happy with how they came out. They're almost like my Apocalypse mask. They're all EVA helmet based, and very happy with them. So that's him. Let's put this color on some of the other guys a little bit. Him I have to stand up for because of the angle of this bust.
Inbred dentist, only brush the teeth you want to keep.
That's right.
Or have summer teeth.
Some are there, some are not.
Chad. Good night, Spastic Pug.
Good night, Pug. Okay.
you ever show how to make the EVA helmet?
I actually have. I've shown it in some videos before. I've sat there and made them and made a pattern, and I've done all of it.
Horror Beauty says more veins. Ezekiel, I'm hearing my daughter laughing in the other room. She loves the name Spastic Pie.
Can you see them veins?
Horror Beauty wants more veins.
Of course she wants more veins. But I can only be as veiny as they ought to be. You can over vein something, and I don't want to do that. Okay.
Tom Star says, fine job, Alan.
Why, thank you.
Are you going to put on hair tonight? Hi, Lisa.
It's 10:10. We might put on hair tonight. Couple.
Did you make the Psycho Lunatic latex masks with a dark hour haunted house? He has restraints in the corner of his mouth, so he's smiling.
Its odds are really good that I made it. Guys, hang on one second. Can I get... Right there!
Oh my goodness. Am I the only one who thinks the one with a cleft palate looks like the illegitimate love child of the other three inbreds? Chad, I think you're right. And quite frankly, I didn't even know if he had these. I didn't know he had these.
Had what?
Well, Chad Smith said, am I the only one who thinks the one with the cleft palate looks like the illegitimate love child of the other three inbreds? And the thing is that
They very well could be, because they're inbreds.
it could be. Did I just turn this on? Is it working?
Looks like you did.
Let me go check it.
Okay.
So, that would be outstanding.
Sorry. Ladies love a vascular man. Every girl's crazy about a well-veined man. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. That could have another meaning. These teeth I punched up, I might have to do it again. And that's okay if I have to do it again. Part of painting.
I did not. Try it again. Easy hops.
Wife, talk to the peoples.
Talking to the people. I'm going to read. Also, if you want to learn about EVA costumes, try Punished Props Academy.
I think so. It's a different menu than me.
Okay.
Punish Props is great for EVA foam. And they have a lot of free tutorials on their, free patterns on their website.
The two X's on this make me wonder if this was originally a demon-type sculpt.
No, this was made to be three finger. Three finger has those. It just has these weird cross-shaped burns or scars. And I think they were burns from when he had a religious parent when he was younger. That's my guess. I think I remember that. We're modeling this surface, staying pretty high above it, so I have a nice fuzzy line. I'm just breaking up all of the skin that is kind of all one color. Now I've broken it up with spatter. I've broken it up with this airbrush a little bit.
Has some good EVA foam stuff too.
He
What
does.
was the Sasquatch movie title again? I'm gonna watch it when I go to bed.
Captured Bigfoot, I think it's called, or Bigfoot Captured.
Ear hair and big silver cross earrings. Says 1980 MKE.
Okay.
Harry and the Hendersons, question mark?
At least he didn't say shrimp.
But no shrimp. This is Rodney Purple.
Okay, and now she's the last one to get this color. I'm really taking my time with this paint tonight. It's kind of fun.
ZZ Hop's sharp-dressed monster. 1980 MKE says I'm not being shellfish tonight. So work on your people.
Normally I don't find anything prawn with your remarks, but
Right? Open the jungle. Oh my gosh, you guys are up. I'll also chime in with Odin makes for EVA foam simply because he has Alan's build and musical chops.
I wouldn't say I have musical chops. You know what? When you work with joy in your heart, it is pretty easy to burst in a song every now and then.
David Gibson, nothing wrong with shrimp.
Them shrimp, yo. All right, so I have all of the colors on them now. I'm going to go ahead and let's do some pairing, but I have to look up some things. I also don't want to just hair this willy-nilly because there's a look to these guys. We got to pull it up. Well, put on wrong turn 3-finger. Images. He has some really wispy, like white hair on him.
I can't find a way to see masks used in the dark hour haunted house, Cameron Steinfeld.
That's true. You probably can't. I am sorry. Remember when I said I wish this guy had more teeth? So let's unplug you. I think you're fine on your own. There we go. All right. So, ooh, what are you? You're still plugged in. Oh no, a lamp is plugged in. Great. That could have ended in tragedy. I want to kind of make that bigger, and that didn't work. Okay, so that's that.
I've seen that mask before at the end of the bar at 2:30 a.m. making ice cream.
See that guy up there? See, now the cross-shaped scar, it's up there. There's two. Yeah. Elvira, though. So he doesn't have any hair up here. It's all back here on the back of his crown, and it comes a little bit forward, but it stops in here. Okay, so we can do that. Teasing that hair is going to be the big deal on him, I think, to get it to look as ratty and as crazy. What's he asking?
About masks you made for dark hour, not going to be on the website. I'm on Sylvie's website.
Stacy, are you still on?
Stacy.
I know. Stacy, are you still on here watching while you do stuff? Because Stacy has access to pictures from dark hour. She can find them easier than Shannon, I think, and maybe give some links. I don't know. Could you help, please? All right, I'm gonna grab some hair. Wait right there.
Stacy's still here. Thanks, Stacy. But in Oz, you do go to Muckus and Budgie Smugglers. I see he's having this is a whole conversation about seafood that has gone on while you were working on this that I'm not that you can read later. Thank you, Stacy.
I'm so down for good seafood.
I am too, but they're all talking about fish, halibut, porpoises, and what have you. And
I could eat a dolphin. I wouldn't feel bad about it.
this is literally a whole thread of talking about seafood. Which is great. We love seafood. Is this from the wrong turn movie?
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yes, it is horrible.
Is there a specific dark hour mask he's looking for? Cameron, what is it from dark hour?
No, I mentioned that some of the asylum masks I made for dark hour, and he hasn't seen any of them, of course. And I'm not in a spot where I can look it up and find some. If you messaged me or something, I could find them for you.
Sonny Pierce, gonna sign off. Board vote comes very early. Please post pics once they are here.
I'll post them on probably Latex Mask Central when they're done. Now this guy does not have a lot of hair, so we're not going to start as low as we normally do. His hair looks really wispy. Stay down. Wasn't listening.
That is a horrendous picture.
It is. You know what though? It's a good, powerful design on this character. They really did a good job on them.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd say sometimes everyone watching here is having a conversation because now they've got to know each other.
Yes.
So there's a lot of jokes going back and forth.
Yeah, they're not talking to me anymore. They're not talking to us. They're talking to each other.
Perfectly fine, but we absolutely, I'm just gonna let you read it later. They're having a full-on conversation, which is kind of awesome. I actually had somebody write us and say, I'm sorry if I derailed the conversation away by making jokes. And I'm like, oh my goodness. There's no reason to think that everybody's having fun. That's great. You're not. Can you give him whiskey hair?
Yeah, he does not have a full head of hair. It's very haphazard. It's very nasty. He is not a Pantene spokesmodel by any means. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Can you guys see okay? I know I'm working both sides of the heads at once, and I'm trying. What is Alan doing? His very best.
Cameron, if you are on Facebook, I am sending you some links to the dark hour pictures to help you out so you can see things. If you're not on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, look up Dark Hour Haunted House on Instagram. Okay. So sorry, Alan, we went a little Dr. Demento. They really did it. Did we ever get a picture of the werewolves and their hair tees?
No, I didn't even take a picture of it. I'm sorry.
MST Mystery Science Masks 3000. 1980 MKE, you are speaking my language. Rodney Pope, it's crazy how each step makes such a huge difference.
And what's funny is, when you just start doing this stuff, you have this feeling of, no, don't do any more, this is good. Don't do any more, this is good. When I was a very young person, 13, 14, 15, something like that, I could draw an eye, a lady's eye, really well. One eye. And I wouldn't draw the rest of it because I knew I couldn't draw the rest of it to that same caliber. So I would draw these eyes everywhere. And there was a point I just got frustrated because it's like, what the hell good is drawing one eye, you know? That's a good napkin drawing on a restaurant or whatever, but it's not any good, you know? There's no real value to it. Okay, this is him. He is haired. I will tease this hair up and out a little bit. But this guy is set. He doesn't have a lot of hair. He's probably the easiest one to do. Let me get him out of the way. Hopefully I can tease him by the time we're done.
This is definitely a Bob Ross experience watching this.
Let's look up Chisel Tooth from Wrong Turn. Let's look at him. We'll do his hair next. Chisel Tooth from Wrong Turn. Can you guys see where I was going with that?
Even the littlest of tweaks and it all comes together.
Okay.
Sorry, did you see the completed werewolves last night, Lisa Aaron?
No, I didn't show him. I'm a terrible person. Is the werewolf boxed up?
I can go get it for you.
Shannon can get the other werewolf for
Hang
us.
tight for just a second, Lisa. I'll go get them for you. Cameron Steinblock, when do you think your monster camp will be back open? Well, when the limitations have been lifted and it's safe to do so. And we're hoping to do so late this summer, if possible. So like everybody else, we're kind of waiting and watching. But when we are able to start our monster camps back again, we will say so on our website, on Facebook, and on Instagram. So we will keep you informed. We hope you can join us. Hang on, Lisa, I'll go get this.
Okay, so I remember this guy. This is that chisel tooth. What's that? Oh,
Gosh, is that seriously?
I'm actually done with this.
Oh, that's fine.
So, yeah, that's chisel tooth up there.
20 and the drum.
Sure. And I need to, but the picture that I use mostly for, you guys have one heck of a glare right there, don't you? How's that? That's probably better. Let's do that. This is the one I use. This is Chisel Tooth from a different movie. Well, the same franchise, just oh, okay. It's small. Same franchise, just a different sculpt, you know? You can see that's sort of the chisel tooth I based him off of. And I like that hair too, so we're going to go ahead and do that hair. It's a much more full head of hair. Well, in the movie, his name is Sawtooth. I just could not remember that. And a friend's haunt had a redneck family named Chiseltooth, and that's probably why I kind of supplanted them in my brain. So here is a wild and crazy happening. The hair on a Wolfman 2020. Full head of hair, baby. I love the dynamic movement you get out of this, you know, the hair. Anyway, there you go. This is not on, but this is the werewolf. So the bottom jaw straps onto your head first, so it's going to flop around in here a little weird like. But that's the werewolf. Done up. Again, nice bib to blend in with the suit. And this is a moving jaw mask, so. Yeah, thanks, wife. You're so helpful. All right, Chisel Tooth. Take this Chisel Tooth. He needs brown hairs. And again, his hair is wispy, a lot of forehead on him. That's fine, a lot of forehead. I like this stuff here. It's pretty good. It's not a bad color, and it's a mixed color, so I will get two colors for the price of one. It's pretty short. That's not bad. That works. Let's raise him up a little bit. Look, a pedestal. Always put your inbreds on a pedestal. We're going to go a little lower because I think this guy's got a fuller head of hair. Now, honey, I don't really have any idea where we left off.
Okay. Do you use clear flat spray paint to style the hair?
I use actually Plastidip Glossifier is what I use. It's a Plastidip product, and it's meant to make Plastidip look glossy. I use it as a hairspray.
Carter Carroll, any advice on non-typical chainsaw-wielding character? I feel pigs and clowns and Leatherface are overdone. Oh my goodness. Oh my,
50s housewife.
oh my goodness.
50s housewife. June Cleaver with a chainsaw.
That's awesome.
Fit like apron, you know, little puff shoulders on the dress. June Cleaver with a chainsaw.
Oh my goodness. Carter Carroll, what a great question.
Yeah, I think clowns are overdone. I think that with chainsaws are overdone.
Ezekiel Bradshaw says, wow, I never knew Chiseltooth was from a movie. My Chiseltooth was completely different.
And you know what? You can make him your own. While technically he's from a movie, that doesn't mean that anything that we do is wrong.
Would you use different hair for beards?
No, same hair. Same hair.
Do you think it is better to sculpt a picture of an existing thing or a draw from your own imagination? That is Agatha. Hi, Agatha. HT Timeless.
All right, so even when I'm sculpting, quote unquote, from my own imagination, I still use visual reference. But you use visual reference differently. If I were sculpting Ernest Borgnine, then I would assemble all the pictures of Ernest Borgnine that I could and try to get them exact. And if I was doing like Pumpkinhead from the movie Pumpkinhead, then I would do the same thing. But if I wanted to do my own monster, I still might have a picture of Pumpkinhead in it because I like his upper lip, and I would use that upper lip. And then I might have a picture of a Harryhausen's Medusa, because I really like the way that her eye looks. You're not stealing from it. You're not, you know, you use visual reference in order to get your piece dialed in. Did I answer that question, honey?
Mm-hmm.
Am I just rambling like a madman?
You might be rambling a bit, but I think they understand what you're saying. If you could draw an eye over and over again, you have a biblically accurate angel, and those are pretty scary. It says, happen in Mojo. Happen in Mojo, you consistently come up with some of the most interesting comments on these. I really enjoy this.
My wife enjoyed your presence.
I do. Halstaff's animatronic workshop says, I always like to add hair to animatronic heads as well. Free additional movement.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cameron, good night. He has to go to bed. Thank you for a night of fun.
Hooray, thank you.
Halstaff's animatronic workshops would like to know how you're doing.
I am doing excellent tonight, sir.
Stephen Whiskey says, give him a man bun. Horror Beauty says, so over chainsaws. Rob O'Brien, everyone run, the homecoming queen's got a chainsaw. At Christmas we had a gingerbread man with a chainsaw.
I can see it.
Rodney Pope says, we did a girl in a prom dress with a chainsaw in HH once. Is that Halloween Horror Nights?
Haunted Hollow, Haunted Horror
Haunted Hollow?
Nights. Halloween Horror Nights is only 3 inches.
Tenebration says, oh Beaver, come to mother. That's Tracy and Paul. What other characters do you think are overdone? I think the creepy little girl is another one.
You know what? Instead of that, tell me what characters aren't done enough. What characters don't you see enough of in a haunted house? Because to me, that's a positive. And I'd rather dwell on the positive rather than a bitch fest.
Fake cattle prods with flashing LEDs that would scare anyone in Texas. Hello, Chad. Chad Blanchard from Monster Camp 5.
Hey!
Future Monster Camps. They were selling those at Transworld last year, fake cattle prods.
Yes, yeah, and that company is awesome.
Thank you for your help, says Time Lapse, HT Time Lapse. Jim Oaks, I love Pumpkinhead.
One of my favorites.
Mike's Haunted Woodworks. I don't see many Carl Cleavers anymore.
Yeah, you don't see them very often at all anymore.
Shrimps with chainsaws.
At least I knew who said that.
We don't see enough housewives. Well, it wasn't. What do you think it was? It was Artist Hazard. Says. Ezekiel says, we don't see enough housewives in haunted houses for sure. What a great idea. Rob O'Brien, original creations. I prefer unique stories over IP. 1980. Right, now my ideas spoiled.
That's right.
Scott McDonald, you definitely don't see enough Elvis in haunted houses. Oh my gosh, you guys are funny.
I don't wanna know what I love. Oh, baby, it's just you I'm dreaming of. So, one of my most rock and roll moments, I did mention before that I worked at a nightclub in Orlando as a rollerblading wolfman. And so I was in a wolfman costume on rollerblades, handed out free admission to the bar. The bar was owned by Janie Lane of the band Warrant. He was one of the owners. And we had Cheap Trick playing in concert that night, and they covered one of Elvis's songs. What song of Elvis's did Cheap Trick cover? Ah.
Oh, is it Don't Be Cruel?
Don't Be Cruel. They covered Don't Be Cruel, and I'm taking a break basically by the elevator, and
Ezekiel said, Cheap Trick, Don't Be Cruel. I got you, Ezekiel.
and Janie grabbed me. He goes, "You're an Elvis fan, right?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, do you know the words of Don't Be Cruel?" I'm like, "Of course." And so he's like, "Come with me." So I'm teaching him the song, the lyrics, because Cheap Trick asked him to get up on stage and sing with him. I'm teaching him the lyrics to the song before he goes on, like right before he goes on stage. But anyway, yeah. Good times.
Ezekiel, it's awesome. You and I are related in another life. Oh my goodness. Oh, a giant fish chomping a fishmonger on a bed of shaved ice would be new. That's 1980 in Kentucky.
You in the seafood
Jim
thing.
Obit says, my favorite scene is when he's in the burned out church and sees the cross. What were they talking about?
Who was in the burned out church?
Where are we, Jim? Marlene McKetchin says, what is your favorite booth at Transworld?
Boy, what's my favorite booth at Transworld? You're asking the hard
We don't ever
questions.
get to see them.
Sometimes I get a little overzealous with the hair.
Did he give you some cherry pie?
That's a good song, man. It's the rocket. What's my favorite booth? Yeah, I don't know that I have one. I mean, there's so many booths that do good things.
Do you think Pixar will ever do a wrong turn movie? This is from Carl Cadaver. Interesting.
Pixar would do what now?
A wrong turn movie remake
From Pixar,
from Pixar.
the little animated kids movie. Probably not.
Press on. A play
My
on
guess
Tiger
is-
King font. Press on. Did he give you some cherry pie? The hair is awesome, says Robert Brown. Press on.
Okay. And this hair I need to cut. I don't have enough forehead happening. So I have to trim. You know what? I don't think I will trim it. I'll let him be a little messy. There's a couple other pictures of him where his hair is longer in the front. And this is kind of a Kurt Cobain sawtooth look. I'm fine. All right, so you guys can't see him. What are you guys looking down there for? All right.
Fear shrimp like Trump fears a gust of
Raw.
Pumpkinhead in the burned out church is what
Oh, yes. Yes.
he was saying.
Pumpkinhead is awesome.
What is the most underrated booth at Trains World? Asks Hard.
Now I'm a business guy, so
That's hard to say.
the marketing companies. Marketing is everything. If you no get pay, then you don't get to play again next year. So, Massive Noise is a marketing company. Fearworm's a marketing company. I like them. Underrated. I love the zombie skin guys. Joe Glenn with zombie skin, great product for makeup and for modifying latex masks. It's a good product. European Body Art, I go there every year, get their brush makeup. Yeah. We have one more brother left. That is this guy. And his name, I don't have a prayer of remembering. And I think he dies in the first movie, and you don't really see him much. I think. But this is him, right? One Eye. His name is One Eye. Let's see how we do. Yeah, this is him. So, see, he's got that one messed up side of the face. He's got a similar sparser hair up there. Well, these guys all have a lot of forehead. They're a family of foreheads.
You have a video of making a mask into a sculpt in order to make a new mold from it, if that makes sense.
No, because I think that power could be used for evil in order to steal someone else's work. I would much rather you sculpt everything from the ground up and make sure you mold your own stuff.
His name was Aaron Paulson. What's happening, Mojo? We're talking about.
Not good. Okay. Yeah, this is One Eye. One Eye.
Did you like the Middle Beast Werewolf and Project Middle Beast?
Yes,
Joe Reese.
of course I did.
Okay, a bit late to the underdone monster masks. Wine is a hell of a drink, but Toxic Avenger would be my vote.
Yeah.
Disintegration.
I don't know if he's a monster.
Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, he's certainly an anti-hero. And he's hideous.
Disintegration, I agree. Good to hear from you guys.
What are you agreeing with?
But wine's a hell of a
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know me and my wine.
You don't like it. Is this your last one, or do you need to, are you putting hair on the other one?
I'm doing hair on the lady. 10:45.
Oh.
Babe, you're staying up late for them. Thank you.
This one.
Everybody who's watching is awesome.
We're on a mission.
Thank you. We are on a mission. We're working our way through wrong turns.
For our beauty. She's getting some highlights. Scott Madonna, yeah, I mean, one of my sculpts. But if I'm making multiple pools, and I need to make a new mold of my same sculpt, kind of like a master sculpt to make
Yeah.
molds on, not making from someone else's mask.
Yes. All you do is you pour up your mask and you fill it with 3 or 5 pound flexible foam. Try and leave a hollow space in the middle because it's a bear to get out of the mold. And you just remold it. I have one here that I use. It's, we call them a buck. It's a master buck. This is how I make more molds of my goblin mask. I just set this down and then I run my plaster all around. I hit this with pledge and then I run plaster all around it, pop it right out of the mold. You see this goes all the way down to the table. This is actually very flat. And you can see caulking where I've caulked it down to make sure no plaster goes up underneath here under this foam. But yeah, this is one right here.
Interesting question. Does simple physical repulsiveness constitute a monster?
No, it doesn't. Not in my book. To me, a monster has to have a supernatural element of some kind. Or like a cryptozoological element.
On the Toxic Avenger, he's a trauma production.
He is indeed.
I don't know what that is.
Trauma is a movie studio, and I use that term loosely, based out of New York, that makes some of the most terrible movies you've ever seen. And they pride themselves on that. Poultrygeist, Trauma.
As for wine, yes. Constipation, you guys are great.
Yeah, lower budget and not as awesome as Full Moon.
Okay, Horror Beauty says it doesn't tear from the foam.
No, because normally it goes in under such pressure, it really has a good bite on it. I could probably peel it away if I wanted to, but I don't.
Don't knock Full Moon, says 1980 MK.
No, man, I love Full Moon. That's what I'm saying. Trauma is not as good as Full Moon. I love Full Moon. These guys all have kind of a sparse hair look, so I'm not going as close as I normally would. I don't like to go any more than 2 inches apart though, so.
Is Quasimodo a monster? Is Frankenstein's monster for the predented a monster? If it were scientifically viable, Jaws, the Phantom of the Opera, I think I found my thesis. This is happening in Mojo. It was talking about if repulsiveness makes you a monster or what makes you a monster.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question.
It is a
It's a great question because many would say yes. Many would say repulsiveness alone is the only factor, and I don't think I believe that. But I am in the monster business, so.
well, so what you're making now is technically, are they monsters?
These are technically not monsters. These are just massive swipe lefts. Swipe left, swipe left!
You are knocking this out tonight.
Well, this is for our buddy
Rodney.
who previously he was here watching. I don't know if he's still here or not. I'm very happy to be able to make a dozen masks.
Oh, Rodney's still here. He's still here, Rodney. That's awesome. You could also get into discussion of humanity. This is from Gravity Mars. Humanity for monsters. I've used this in English papers in the past. Humanity for monsters. Are you talking about championing monsters, Gravity Mars? Ezekiel says a reverse mold is awesome. The Phil Collins parody is complete. Josh Braden, I love your channel, just never catch you live.
You did! You called me!
I live a lot lately.
I wish Steve Haynes were here.
Oh my goodness.
He's a hairdresser. He would just knock this out for me.
Oh, he would.
It's a lot of work to get it to not look straight cut off.
Was that at Monster Camp and he was the only one who was using professional shears to
Oh, yeah.
fix the hair on his monster?
Yeah, it's like, you're ridiculous.
That was hilarious.
There we go.
It's good. It's terrible. Oof.
Yeah.
What do you think about humanity for monsters?
I am completely a monster champion. I love monsters. Now, there are some monsters I think that you know they had humanity. You're talking about vampires, werewolves. At that point, they become a monster. Can they regain back their humanity? Do they have souls at that point? I don't think so.
Well, he says, my class used to argue about Frankenstein's creature versus the creator because of how the scientists lacked humanity in caring for a living thing.
So you're saying it's in the nature of humans to care for living things? I don't know if I agree with that.
I knew an undertaker who did YouTube videos, and I asked him why he never does a live, and he said there are laws against it. This is a different version. This is 1980 NKE. Probably so.
I could see that.
Ezekiel says, I would have Sister Christian blasting in his chapel about Camaro of the world. Gravity Mars says, I personally really love the complex relationship between the two, and Frankenstein is one of my favorite novels. Talking
Yeah.
about humanity. From
Yeah, who's the bad guy? You know, that's very true. Who's the bad guy?
I think that in Monster Squad, which is a charming movie, but Frankenstein, when he looks at it, it's scary. It's one of the most heartbreaking moments.
Yeah, because he didn't know he was scary.
And it's just heartbreaking. Bugs Bunny once said, monsters must lead such interesting lives.
And indeed they do.
Happening Mojo says, well, it must be innate for humans to care for some living things. How else could we procreate and flourish? Amazing conversation.
Little deep for the wrong turn, kids, I'll tell you.
but great conversation.
Yeah.
You know, great conversation. We are at 3 hours.
All right, I am pretty happy with this.
Gonna put some for him?
I think I'm going to wrap up. I'm not going to do the fourth one live.
Can you give him a close-up?
Oh,
Just to get us some. That's really good. He's my favorite since Horror Beauty.
so I'm going to go ahead and flip this back. I'm going to grab the other two wrong turn guys. I'm going to put them here. So we have all the wrong turns together.
Have you ever seen Full Moon's movie Castle Freak?
Yes, I have.
Just a philosophical question. Could a vampire be both one of the damned and fallen, yet possessed a soul and trying, no matter how futilely, to redeem himself?
Yes. Yes, I think that's true. I think they could.
Everybody's calling me wife. Good night. Wife says good night. Rodney Poe, so cool. Thanks, Alan.
Now this guy does not photograph. He doesn't sit the same because of the bust he's on. Let me do a little thing.
Hang on, everybody. Oh, Sean, I'm sorry. We're not quite done. We're almost done. Hang on just a second.
What?
Sean Radel. So I just got here in time to say goodnight. But you can see how far we got. So hang tight, Sean.
I'm doing my end of the night wrap up.
By the way, Sean, you ship out this week. There you go. Good job.
Well, I tried.
Close enough.
We did it. All right. This is the wrong turn club.
So far.
Yeah. This is sawtooth, 3-finger, and 1-eye.
And we have one more to hair tomorrow. Looks great. Just got one more tomorrow. This is for Rodney.
Yeah, these are going to Rodney Pope. I'm just looking. I'm looking, doing my last looks here, and seeing what they need. I don't know, man. I'm pretty happy with them. I'm gonna grab a little bit of glaze. I'm gonna grab some 5-minute epoxy.
Also, second night read, fantastic film. The monsters go from mundane to sexy to despicable, and looks are secondary.
I love me some Nightbreed. And the worst creature in it is Decker, who's just a person. He a big old jerk. We're going to 5-minute epoxy some of the, well, his eye will hit his teeth.
Hang on, guys,
We'll
we're not
hit-
done.
Well, yeah, we're close.
That's okay. Finished up. So 5-minute epoxy, what are you going to do?
I'm going to mix this up, and I'm going to use this on the areas that need to look wet.
Sure that you are not blocking out the camera. Sorry, I thought we were going. We thought we were going to horror beauty. Hang on.
I was close.
Hang on.
You know how it is. If it's not done,
I know, but now that I say, hang tight, just a second, guys. We're doing a little something, something.
yeah, so this is 5-minute epoxy, and this is going to make areas that need to look wet look really wet. I'm going to come back to those teeth. These teeth I know are dry, so I'll hit these teeth. Now the inside of this mouth and those teeth are going to look wet. That bottom lip is going to look wet. A little bit around the eye.
Does this make good drool?
It can. For drool, I actually prefer Gorilla Glue crystal clear caulking because it dries more rigid than this. This still has a good bit of flex to it.
And then we'll need to hair lip black, Jack Black. It does look like Jack Black.
Hair lip Jack Black.
That is, it does look like Jack Black. Good job, Ezekiel.
Okay, ba-ba-ba-ba.
Let's get some close-ups of the shine.
Okay, let me hit
And also,
these teeth, which I fear were not dry.
let them see what the package looked like, because they're going to have. I was thinking meatloaf. Does look like meatloaf. I agree. It does. I think it's the hair.
And I think this eye weeps a little bit. So I think all this has some hardcore shine to it too,
Is that
right
what
in
you
there.
used on the snowman mask?
No, no. I use different things all the time. This is just Harbor Freight instant setting epoxy adhesive. So it's 5-minute epoxy, and this is the Harbor Freight version. I didn't use all of it. That was maybe a third of those 2 tubes.
You get a close-up on the shine.
Now we're gonna do some crazy zooming in stuff. Not on me, on them. And that 5-minute epoxy dries that way. I would tease Three Fingers' hair, but I don't think it's set enough yet. One eye. Three finger. Chisel tooth or sawtooth. There's the wrong turn, kids.
My wife is going to hate one eye, said Rodney.
Now, I'm going to call it a night. You guys have been awesome for hanging out. I'm amazed. I said I was leaving 10 minutes ago, and I still have 80 people here. Thanks for hanging out with us during quarantine and helping us to make some fun, maybe not monsters, but at least bad guys. And you guys are great. Have a good night. Go make stuff. Good night, wife.
Good night.
Go make stuff.
Good night.